Hello? Am I working now? I think it took it a second, but it looks like it might be working now. I'll wait for confirmation. It's like I was ready a little too early today. Okay, good. I was ready a little too early today, so I'm just like, something's gonna go wrong. But unless I started the stream, we weren't going to be able to work out what was going to go wrong. So I can't fix it until it goes wrong. Happy time zone, everybody. I hope you're having an excellent week. I'm having a pretty good week. I've made 12 Pokemon since I spoke to you guys last. I'm only showing you 6 today though, because 6 are for the Pokemon Black episode coming out on Thursday. Yeah. It's working, you can hear me. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, well, let's just get started with our poll, which I have not squared up on screen. I knew I forgot to do something. Okay. I can make it fit better than that. Hold on. There we go. All right. So, we have a theme today. And today's theme, you may notice that we have some unusual numbers on the screen. We have 1, 2, 3, and 6. And these numbers are referring to the number of points on top of each Pokemon's head. So you can pick whichever one you like. I've played a little bit of fun with the colors, but they will all make sense when you see them. Or at least some of the colors will make sense when you see them. Some of them, I just, you know what, it was late. I just picked some. Have fun rolling past a daiquiri. So yeah, I still have, let's start that poll. So that poll is started, you can pick who we're going to make first today. And yeah, I finished 12 Pokemon today. Well, not today, I finished 12 Pokemon this week. And I'm going to show you 6 of them, but it does mean that I didn't get to work on Stantler or Entei, who are last stream's Pokemon, but I finished all of the stream Pokemon up until last week. So, sorry.
What's the theme?
I said the theme.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you guys heard the theme, right? I'll put it in chat. How many points? Not there. Pointy-headed friends. Yeah, so the numbers refer specifically to how many points are on top of their heads. I'm just adding the theme to chat. You may be able to tell that we're on a little bit of slim pickings regarding these themes. I'm having to like dig deep for some of them because we are down to our final 13 Gen 2 Pokemon, which means by like we are so close to the top 10, I can taste it. All right, now back to what I was doing. Turn that one off. No, we want that one on and we want this one off. And we have Great Whoppin' Stantler in the way. Boo. Yeah, scary boo. Okay, right, yes, the Pokemon that I finished making. Yeah, good. I keep waiting for something to go a little bit more wrong than we have. So, first up, we have Slowking, whose name is King Eduardo CCCIX, which I believe is the 309th, because he was the 309th Pokemon we made. So, he turned out a little bit more derpy than I would have liked. If to do him again, I would have made his head slightly wider. But in general, I think he's pretty good. And guys, I'm just going to cop to it. I got a little lazy and I haven't put the eyes on the back of the shell yet, but it is something I am planning to do at some point. But yes, I do know that his shell is meant to have eyes on the back of it. And then we have Miltank, Melissa, who I might have showed you last week. But this one here turned out perfectly proportioned and I didn't have to remake any of it. So sometimes we're right and sometimes we're wrong. But I stitched all the little spots onto the back. I did end up embroidering those. That was one of the questions that came up about how I was going to do that. They're just stitched on. Honestly, she turned out pretty good. And I'm doing these apparently in no particular order because I'm just kind of grabbing and I don't remember who went with who. Let's do Chikorita next. So Chikorita was basically all of her pieces got made on stream. Her name is Chickpea. Yeah, she just needed to be sewn together. Have her little spots stitched on. And then also that week we made Ursaring, who also got the embroidered eye treatment. Unfortunately, I've made him a very sleepy bear instead of an angry bear. But that happens sometimes. Sorry, we're just like whipping through them as quickly as we can. Then we have Elekid. Got his little lightning bolt. His stripes ended up a little thinner than I would have liked, but it is what it is. To do them again, I would have chained them and sewn them on. I feel like I've said this already. You might have already seen him. And Ampharos. Can't remember what I named Ampharos, but I think I was doing pretty good on the names. He's Deviled Egder, by the way. That's Deviled Egder. What did we name you, you lamppost of a thing? All I can think is Amphitheater. Is Meryl Sheep. He's Meryl Sheep. Okay. Those are the 6 Gen 2 Pokemon I can show you. The other 6 are Gen 5, and you'll see them on Thursday. There should be no spoilers in the background. I'm pretty sure I cleaned them all up, but don't go looking and you won't find any. They're like all the stuff that I feel like is a spoiler is in a tub off to one side, which should not ever be on camera because Mr. Bones sits there sometimes. So, yeah. Okay, so let's just pop those back here with the rest of their friends. And then we'll see who you guys voted for. Okay. Oh, one thing I will add is that I ended up resizing Ursaring's tail because he has a big ball for a tail, but his old tail ended up on Stantler. So I have recycled the butt bubble from the bear onto the Scaraboo, who also has ears now. That's as far as I got with him, though. Okay. Alrighty, yep, you guys have been decisive. Let's see who you picked. Is it because I made them purple? So you guys picked number 2 overwhelmingly with 48% of the vote, then number 3 at 29%, number 6 at 16%, and number 1 at just 7%. So let us reveal who is behind door number 2. But I will remember to turn the screen back to the other one first. Hold on. Golly, I'm so good at this. Alright, here we go. Correct layer selected, yes. And let's see who's behind door number 2. And it is, of course, Ledyba. And what you might notice is that the grey is the colour of the horns. I've just turned them purple to trick you. Ha ha! Oh, there he is with one purple horn and one grey horn. But let's turn them all grey. There we go. So we'll be starting off today by making Ledyba. Not Gentlebar, Ledyba. Anyway, where are all the things I'm supposed to do? There is you. Who's apparently been flipped at some point. And the Pokédex count is now going to be up to 88 out of 100. So hopefully you guys aren't too disappointed with your choice. No, you look excited for the choice. Okay, excellent. Okay, alright, here we go. Sorry, unfocused. Ah! What layer even does that? Okay, I can apparently just pick up my whole screen and yeet it, which is not something I want to do. Sorry for shouting. I've forgotten how everything works. There we go. I'm just having a bit of a mental blank. Ladybug, you come over here, and we're going to give you a little rotate, like a potate. You're still flipped, but I think that's okay. No, I'll flip you back. Hold on. Transform. Okay, here we go. We're on track. This is great. No. I'm so sorry. Every week we hit upon one where there's like a gif from the Pokemon anime series with Professor Oak interacting with the Pokemon. They make me laugh every time. That should just be a show on its own, and it probably is. Oh, look how happy they all are. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna draw the bug. Let's see, to start off with, we have like an egg. I'm planning on this one being a pretty quick one, so we can get on to some of the others, because like my Pokemon that I'm picking to include in the polls, the Pokemon I'm picking to participate in the polls, are all ones that I refuse to have in the top 10. So you'll be seeing some familiar faces as we work through certain very specific Pokemon. there's some that I'm like, I'm fine I'm fine either way, and there's some that I actively want to be some of our finals. So right now we're picking off Happy Time Zone Dazed. We're picking off some of the more complicated ones that I don't want to be part of our final lineup. How does your mouth work, friend? Kind of sounds like a terrible pickup line. Nobody used that as a pickup line. Change the angle of that eye. That's a bit better. Oh, and folks, I finally did it. I finally read The Parade of Horribles. I have fully finished all available content for Dungeon Crawler Carl. There'll still be no spoilers in chat because I know a great number of you are playing catch up. But I have finally done it. It took me like one day. The audiobook was only like 20 hours long. Okay, why don't you look right? What am I doing wrong here? Shrink that down a little. I reckon these legs are all the same length, or are they actually like longer, shorter, shorter? Oh no, all of my reference images have him flying. Whereas like we have him here in like hockey puck form. I warn you now, we're doing hockey puck form. I mean, it's an approximation for sure, but like I'm doing my best. I'm gonna close these wings. We're just gonna get this done. You know what, before I ink, I'm just going to try and find a photo from the back so I can see her spot pattern. Okay, no, I can see it in that one there. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who shares reference images in the Discord. They're incredibly helpful, and they do actually help the stream stay on track. Because otherwise I'd be spending half my time looking up those reference images. That's a better idea of the head. And I'll look up what we called Lydian in a second for everybody. And then the shell is the very stereotypical 5 assortment. They're half spots? No, they're full spots too. Okay, she's kind of just a ladybug, but like it's a cute ladybug, cute vibes, and she's kind of a little orangey, not red. I think she might be Outback, like everybody else in this generation. Okay. That's pretty close. It's a little more corally on screen. I'm wondering if that's a different color. Is that maybe the peach or the shrimp? That might be melon. Where is me Outback? I'll know it when I see it. Did I finish my Outback? Ah. The Outback. The Outback is an infinitely better colour. Ledyba. Yeah, Gen 2 is very specifically Outback and Iceberg. these two colors have come up just so often in this gen. Whereas like Gen 1, I think was a little bit more on like the purple scale. Yeah, okay, cool, we're gonna do that. We're gonna try and tot her a little bit. I don't want to spend hours making her. We're gonna make sure that she's perfect in every way that we can feasibly achieve. I'm thinking safety eyes as well, so she's got like those big shiny button eyes. That seems to be called for here. Here we go. Because we love our bugs. It's one of those things. The older I get, the more I like bugs. And birds. Certain bugs. Some bugs you don't want around, but... Got a whole bunch of little kickers here. And we can really only see one spot from that angle. Okay. Well, there's the boog. Oh, hey, Nerdatim Master. Should go well with googly eyes. I unfortunately don't have googly eyes. Google safety eyes, like surely those exist somewhere. But no, we'll be trying to make her to scale with just our standard 9mm safety eyes. Which honestly I've been using less and less. Something about like Gen 1 Pokemon I don't know if it was just that I made more excuses to make them work, but like these days I think, or maybe I'm just getting more confident. But like more and more often I'm doing things like, I'll focus for us. You have autofocus on, don't abuse the privilege. There we go. Kind of. Like more and more often I'm just like actually stitching eyeballs on. So I don't know. The more I do it, the better I get at it, I think. Red, grey, yellow. Those are... Oh, we've got blue arms. She's got blue arms. Who authorized blue for you? Okay. It's kind of a teal. It's a little bit brighter than I would prefer. Oh, there we go. That's the one. That's a nice dark blue. You can see that there compared to the overexposed yellow. Okay, we got the blue. Alrighty. So for this head, I think it's really important that it has the 2 layers. It's got such a guppiness to it. So I'm thinking we'll make a small yellow tater tot, and then over the top we'll make a top of the head piece, which is kind of like from above here. And then we'll attach like eyes. And the antennas go there. And we'll probably do a similar thing regarding the shell and the belly. Because it just gets you some really nice layers, you know? Tot the bug. I'm going to try and tot the bug, alright? We're going to think some very tot type thoughts. She has to fit at least 9mm safety eyes, which does imply a certain scale. We'll see how we go. Start with my yellow. We're going to make the tater tot for the head. Oh, and speaking of which, I will look up the name for Ledian, just because I feel like that's going to be really relevant before too long. Ah, don't do that. fill my whole screen up with spreadsheets. That's not helpful to anyone. Scrolling. Ledyba does not have a name. Okay, here we go, folks. We have not named Ledyba. Ledyba? So you can name both of them. I'm allowing it. Current name list: Mittens, Dennis, Francis, Ledyba. I feel like we have a Dennis the Menace type character. Mr. Bones, I should really give you access to this spreadsheet. Yeah, we've named IPOM Dennis. Yep, we can get a name this. Okay. I was going to try and use that, but I think it's too small on screen. And you need to be a Ledyba, which, hold for a second. I'll be, oh dang it, I don't have it yet. Any of the ones that got made before a certain point, I never bothered to save sprite images down for them because I saved myself the hassle. But it means that I don't have images for some of these old ones that we're looking for. Okay, we are naming Ledyba up in the top corner over here, and I'm making Ledyba down here. Lady Baba and Lady Boo Boo. Okay, I love Sir Tots a lot, but I will just remind you that Cricketot exists, and he looks like a traveling knight minstrel type of thing. So, like, I feel like Sir Tots a lot might be slightly more relevant for him, but I'm not going to like say you can't have it in today's vote. I'm just going to say I told you so if you try and name him that too. Well, hello there, random freak. Well, welcome to your very first stream. A Ledyba? Yeah, it's funny, Purple Dolphin Studio. I don't know what made me think of it too, but when I was saying Ledyba, I was like, yeah, it's that kind of like Aladdin. Yeah. It was just like a look up and there's your comment. Maybe I glanced past it and absorbed it along the way. Dang it, I make a point. On this stream, that's all about points. And yeah, we made Ledyba as part of Soul Silver, I think. Must have been. No thinking about it, really. Alan. Yeah, why does he feel like an Alan? Alright, just a little note break while I write it all down. Okay, the head is up to 14 stitches around, and I am going no larger. Look at the discipline at play. My goodness. I could have just whipped out my 12 Days of Bugsmas pattern, I suppose. Modified the legs a little bit. But no, this is going to be more suitable. This is better. She's holding 16 mini tennis balls. She is. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so there is a gender difference for Ledyba, and it's that males have bigger antennae than the females. You're correct in making the assessment that that's not going to make any difference to what I do today. But yeah, no, it's always good to like know these sorts of things. I'm always interested in like, they've made some very arbitrary changes, because like, if they're going to have the changes exist in the first place, they needed to be visible changes so that you could tell. But yeah. Adelaidean. I feel like I've gone too big for the head. It's small though. Alright, I'm gonna just stop and abruptly change directions. I'm gonna make the eyes so that we can use them for scale, so I can make sure that I'm not going too large. We will not be mega. We will not be... What's mega evolving? We will not be making a mega podding of this particular one. 5, 6. That's as big as an eyeball gets. That's our hard and fast locked in rule. In there we go. He's not nervous, he's terribly alert. Am I in focus? I feel like I'm in focus. We're focused. Like, I'm locking myself in at this point so I can't back out of it. That is snapped on. Magic ring 6. Body buff. The best stupid gender difference is Torchic. Males have 1 pixel of black on their butt. I love that. That's adorable. I have such a soft spot for Torchic, but by the time it gets to Blaziken, I'm just like, I don't understand where this man came from and why is he in my house. It's so many of the fire type starters. I'm not the first. I know this is not an original thought, but it's just like, I know that this sentiment echoes throughout the fan base. I'm just like, why do so many of them turn into people? I'm like, we just want those 4 cute little pitty patty paws to stay on the ground. Tape them down. There we go. What's really funny is that male Torchic would have been the default. Don't starters have like an overwhelmingly male ratio to them? Because I know that you used to have to like, what's it called when you just like reset over and over and over again? There's a word for it. To try and farm for a girl if you wanted a girl one. It's disproportionately impacted my understanding of male like Pokemon gender ratios, and so now I just assume everything is always going to be male. Which is why it's always surprising in Pokemon Black when most of my team is female. So that they do your taxes for you, fair enough. Soft reset, thank you, Breeze. That is the phrase I was looking for. Fuecoco did keep all 4 on the ground, but he lost his innocence. Fuecoco lost his innocence. Let's see, Mudkip, is that Gen 3 or Gen 4? Because I know we have Priplup, which I think is Gen 3, and then Mudkip must be Gen 4, right? Oh, it's 3? Okay, sorry. My bad. I got them around the wrong way. I knew that was going to happen. All the Pokemon from Gens 2, 3, and 4 are kind of a one amorphous blob for me, and then 6, 7, 8, and 9 I wouldn't be able to tell you. I probably haven't even seen a lot of them. Okay, well then that's coming up next. Stay tuned. From like July onwards we'll be working on those ones. Okay, we're the right size. Just work this back in. Have I shown how the whips are going? Andy, we finished 6 out of 8 of them. So yeah, I showed those at the start of stream if you want to jump back, or I can show them again a little bit later. But yeah, we finished Ursaring, Ampharos, Elekid, Miltank, Chikorita, and Slowking. And Slowking. They're technically like just sitting here behind me. Susan Star, you can ask that on the Discord and people will potentially answer that for you, but I'm absolutely not going to be spoiling anything on stream. And also I'm having a... yeah. I'm having a little bit of trouble placing that particular character, which does not mean anything about their fate. It just means I'm really bad with names. Thank you, Andy. I also managed to make 6 Pokemon from Gen 5 this week. It's like, I made 12 Pokemon this week. I made a lot of Pokemon. But I'm not feeling that same sense of like Poke burnout that I was when I took that little break over April. Stuffing. There we are. I gotta say though, one unintended side effect of making them all is, first of all, I think I'm potentially going to get better at remembering which gen they belong to. But also, I've suddenly found out that I'm very good at some of the Pokemon quiz games you can find on YouTube. You know, like Zane Games and Delicious James and all that. They have that like cluster of people who all do that kind of content. I'm just like, suddenly I'm very, very good at spotting where that fin is from and where that horn is from, if it's from one of the ones that I've made. And that has been a very interesting side effect to what it is that we do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't decrease properly, so we're just going to make it up. There we go. You think Decidueye is fair because large owls are just kind of leggy with flat face? Yeah, you know what? I'll give the Decidueye range. They're not my favorites because I think all of those ones kind of turned out very people-y from very creaturey, and I'm always a creaturey person. But owls all are wearing feather pants, and so it's like, okay, acceptable for him to be wearing feather pants. No, Angry Bear Ironworks, I want you to focus on your writing. Right now we are being productive in a parallel fashion. And so I want you to stay focused to get your writing done. Call the fireman because CK is on fire. I better not be. Primarina is very mermaidy. Yeah, that's the one, parallel productivity. It's also called like shadow something. It's like when you put on a YouTube video of somebody like getting something done, so then suddenly you lose all executive dysfunction. It's helpful. That's your little... Once there was a little frog sitting on a little log eating the most delicious bugs. Except you are a bug, not a frog. Gonna sneeze. Warning. Thank you. What even is this timeline? Alright, moving on. It's kind of like parallel play, but it's parallel productivity. So like, it's not necessarily the play part of it. Angry Bear Ironworks. It doesn't matter how rough the first thing is as long as you're putting words down. Like, I think one of the best pieces of like advice I ever received, and I never used it, but I received it, was the first time you're writing it, you're just writing it to get it down, and then you go back and you rewrite it like you knew what was going to happen the whole time, and that's when you like go back and make it better. And like add little clues if it's that kind of story, or do any kind of foreshadowing if it's that kind of story. It's like, so yeah, right now all you're doing is like basically roughing out the story from start to finish. Just get it down. You can make it better later. You can't polish nothing. You can polish something. Body doubling, thank you. That's the one, Susan Starr, that was actually the phrase I was looking for, body doubling. I was willing to like take parallel play or parallel productivity and run with it, but body doubling is the thing. Hi Simba, go to bed. Yeah, you just gotta start by making something. You can make it good later. Oh, my house will never... I can clean up better when I'm showing someone how clean I can make my space. Yeah, I relate to that, but I can only really get my house truly, truly clean if there's somebody coming over at the last minute and suddenly all of the anxiety and trauma of my ancestors speaks through me, and there is a booming voice that says, I'm going to be smited because my cave is not clean. It doesn't matter that my house isn't dirty. It's just like that. There is no clean like panic clean.
Speaking of which, my mother was coming over this afternoon.
That's not funny. That's not funny. That's a joke he was going to play on you guys, folks, because the only move I have available to me at that point is to end stream and clean the house. Spoticus? Oh, I like that. In loving memory of Mr. Bones, smoked live on camera, pretty much. Okay, cool, get out. Sorry, I've just realised abruptly I haven't written down a single line for this particular piece. One, two, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, current name list for Ledyba, which is this one, is... We can't have Dennis, we already have a Dennis, I'm sorry. But Francis, Ladybubba, and Spoticus. And we have, for Ledian, who's up here, and sorry, name this, is Aledian and Alan. Show us how you panic clean. No, thank you. Do you have any thoughts on what I'll do for multiple forms of Pokemon like Alolan versions, Deoxys, Unknown? We've actually already made Unknown. We just picked a letter that we liked the best and went with it. With a certain threat that at some point, if we get really truly bored enough, I'll go back and make the rest of the alphabet. But for a lot of them, what we're doing is the default forms, and my current goal is to just get one Pokemon into every number. So I'm kind of ignoring regional forms at the moment, but I've left that door open. So once we've finished our living decks, where we have at least one version of every single Pokemon, we'll go back and look at things like regional forms, possibly mega evolutions, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's the plan. Oh, this is the weekly happy birthday going out. You are correct in that Mr. Bones' birthday is coming up. Punch out and punching. What about major gender differences? That's an interesting one. Have we encountered any major gender differences yet? Because in general, I've just been making whatever the main sprite looks like. So I know that the sprites tend to default to male, and so a lot of our Pokemon have defaulted to male, but we've just named them whatever, because whatever. We have free will. Major gender differences, I don't know yet. And there's always things like Jellicent as well. And I think it's Frillish and Jellicent. This is like one's pink and one's blue. Cool. Which one do we make? I haven't had to make those decisions yet. I will think about what we want to do with it. Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think there's been any major ones yet, because I think those start really becoming a thing around Gen 4 when they start adding gender differences in. Because there's a few coming up, because I know there's like a lion one as well. So yeah, I haven't had to work out what we want to do there yet. In general, I want one of each Pokemon, but I understand when they're differenty, you kind of want to acknowledge that. It's a thinker. We'll come up with a solution. Most of those go under the same Pokédex entry, so I could just pick one option if I want. Yeah, and it might be a case of like I pick the one that I'm most familiar with. It might be a case of I let you guys pick one. It might be a case of we flip a coin. I think it's the reason this has stumped me for a second is because now I'm thinking of like, cool, all right, that possibly needs to go on the list as well, of just like regional forms and mega forms and whatevers, and it's just like, okay, cool, maybe we need to go back and make all of the major gender difference ones as well. Yeah, it's like, it's not something I'm going to stress about now. That's future me's problem. It won't be a problem at least until January, so that's fine. Because like if any come up during my like actual game playthroughs, I'm just going to make whatever version comes up, with the exception of shinies, which I make gut calls on along the way. Do I have a public version of the Excel spreadsheet, or where you track which Pokemon I have or haven't done? I have not. There is a like fan built one that is pinned in the Discord. It's by, I think it's Elf's Crochet is doing it, though they might also be here in chat under another name. Which is very up to date. I can't share my one publicly because it often has spoilers for the next Pokemon Black episode in it, and I need it to keep track of what I'm doing there. And yeah, so I can't have that one be public. It's too spoilery. But yeah, no, there is a fan one, and it is pinned in the Discord. If you go over to, I think it's in live streams. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, it's like the third pin down by Elf's Crochet. Yeah. There's also a Pokédex that I flash up on the screen every so often, but yeah. That's currently not up to date, though I do have an up to date one, but you'll have to wait till Thursday to see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18.
The gender difference for Torchic, it's in Discord, if you wanted to see.
I've seen it, it's so cute.
It's literally a single pixel. Apparently it's from, I think, baby chicks. It's how they sex baby chicks, is they check for like a little black dot on their butt.
Little follicle that indicates a tail plume.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's how they get
There's also the thing where you can pick them up, and if they pull their legs up, it can be a sign of like a chicken or a rooster.
Oh, yeah.
But
no touching my feet.
No!
In this economy? No!
Alright, 1, 2, 3, and then I kind of want the face to have slightly bigger cheeks. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's 1, 2. Stop that. Welcome back to your original name. Oh, everybody needs to hydrate or dehydrate. I'm particularly bad about that these days. Gotta stay hydrated. That's the rules. Panicking skeleton. Yeah, he's got them panicking skeleton noises for sure. You think it's interesting what they decided to divide versus make gender differences, like Illumise and Volbeat versus Meowstic? Yeah, I think it was just that, like, Illumise and Volbeat, Minun and Plusle, I think were also great candidates to become gender differences instead of two separate Pokemon. I honestly think they were just trying to pad their decks out. I literally just think it's that simple and that complicated. I think they just wanted to have additional numbers. I mean, all you have to do is look at the Gen 5 monkeys, right? The Simmies and the Pans. It's just like, why did we need... Why are they 6 Pokemon, 3 evolution lines, but 6 Pokemon, but the Dealing line, which has, like... So you've got Dealing, and then you've got... We looked it up last week, but I can't remember the name of the evolved one. That's 8 different forms, and yet that's only 2 Pokemon. Yet, yeah, it's just like, what? Why? And then you've got stuff like Cast Form, million different forms. Deoxys, million different forms, but they don't count as different Pokemon. It's like, what is going on? Okay, so she has not been totted, but she's also coming together really cutely so far. So now we need body. Similar construction method. But we need that body. Source Puck, thank you. I don't know if that's ever going to stick. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 8, 8. Alrighty, body. I can just write a bunch of this. It's just a circle. It's just a circle, right? There's nothing tricky going on here. And I might use front post rather than make double ups of the pieces, because I think there's a really distinctive lip on the head. I don't think there's a distinctive lip on the body. Looking at it again. Just go over there. Like the good little bean that you are. Ladybod. Alrighty, should we get the Ledian name started, or are they all just are they team names or are they individual names that we've been doing? Dealing actually changed form based on seasoning games, so one Pokemon can be all the forms, whereas the monkeys never turn into each other. Fair, but I feel like that was something that they very easily could have shifted, you know? I feel like we very easily could have had a stone-based evolution for the monkeys. I think that it could have easily been climate controlled, because they're like cast form is, like when you're in sunshine or versus rain. I feel like that could have easily been a thing. I just feel like that the monkeys in particular, specifically the monkeys, were just kind of a cop-out. I think that they chickened out of whatever it was that mechanic was supposed to originally be. Yep, this is the usual live stream time. We started 47 minutes ago, so whenever that was for you, that's when we start every week, and we normally go for 3 to 4 hours these days. Get through 2 Pokemon and a bunch of nonsense. Current name list for Ledian is Aledian, Alan, Punchy, and Led Ranger. Alright, let's start that poll. I hope everybody's happy with the choices they've made. Alan. I kind of like the name Alan for a clef key, because then it's an Allen key. Alrighty, there you go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Excellent. We're nailing this. I like Spoticus. I like Spoticus for Ledyba, though. I thought that was one of the Ledyba names. That's awesome, Jess. I really like that little lemur. Particularly as like that when I scrambled up his parts. Gosh, golly, they have some personality to them. Like I always put like one recommended pose in of like sew it together like this, but sometimes they just take on a mind of their own and they become whatever they want to be. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I try not to actually say the numbers out loud on stream. Because everybody who's hopefully getting something done right now. I saw that Echo Giardini got their dishwasher running. Congratulations. That is one more robot helping you through the things. Okay, around again. Though we might be making a Ledyba who has not grown into their legs yet. I feel like that'd be a thing. It's like a little baby. Alright, the current name list for Ledyba is Francis, Ladybaba, Spoticus, and Rent This Space, which I think is Mr. Bones being funny. And potentially in negotiations to get Mitten back on the list. Colouring to get in the art mood, that's a good one. I have increasingly become a fan of just like putting splotches of colour down on a page and then taking an outliner and drawing something vaguely into the shape. Or colouring just completely outside the lines. Like it's good, it's been healing for me. It's like once you throw perfectionism out the window, it's just like suddenly everything becomes so much more fun. It's like, oh, right, I'm allowed to do this just because it's fun, I don't have to be good at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Chunky bug, exactly. Is that big enough for you? One more. One more. You gonna eat all of it?
No, I was offering you a spoonful.
I was gonna warn you that there's like 8 apples in that thing.
I was offering you a spoonful.
Oh no thanks, I'm good. I made apple crumble this morning because we realized that we were all out of we weren't out of food, but we were all out of like prepared food, and so like I whipped up an apple crumble because I stewed 2 kilos of apples a couple of days ago, and that's pretty good. You got to keep an eye on it though, because like when you use apples out of a can, you have to keep in mind there's like 2 to 3, maybe 4 apples in the can. When you stew it down to the liquid I stew it down to, the same area is more like 12 apples, and so if you eat that, you're eating 12 apples, and that has ramifications. Yes, a plep. I didn't put a safety marker in. So hopefully we can work out where we're supposed to stop. Echo Jardini, that is a little too accurate. That is exactly what the head be like. Sorry. Okay, I get that. There's a little bit of a Hisuian Voltorb vibe in there. Sorry, I've suddenly lost the ability to count to 3, and it's troubling me a little bit. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 29, 30. All right, excellent. So 30 is as big around as we're going. I even think that's too big. And we're going to change to our red. I am going to go take just a little break, but I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, I'll be right back. We weren't on for that long. I told you I've been working on my hydration, folks. Can we not make a big deal out of this? We're not at break. Okay, so you guys have... Oh, the vote that you guys... Let's rephrase that sentence. The vote has shifted since I was last here. I'm closing it off now. You have named Ledyba. Oh, okay. It was real close, but Alan has taken the lead. You have picked Alan with 30% of the vote. Led Ranger came in second at 28%. Aledian came in at 25%. And Punchy came in at 17%. So that was a very close vote, but you have officially named Ledyba Alan. The easiest Pokemon to make so far. Oh, that's actually a really hard question because I've made over 320. Let's see. Who would have been the easiest? It's one of those things where, like, some of them I've taken easier routes with, but I'm not necessarily super excited about how they turned out. So I guess that there's like a ratio here of like how happy I was with how they turned out versus how easy they were to make. And in that regard, I'm going to go ahead and say probably Slowbro, because he was a lot of very simple shapes, like a lot of them, but like they were simple shapes layered up, and he just came out looking so good. Yeah. Honestly, Ghastly was probably one of the easier ones. You know, any of the basic balls. Imagine, if you will, being appropriately hydrated. Well, congratulations, Echo Giardini. I'm happy for you. And there's always the replay. I like Alan because Alan Ledyba sounds like Alan Rickman. Okay. Alan. Oh, Galaxy Quest is the best. I freaking love that movie. By crap Thar's hammer. What a name suggestion. You crocheted your cat and mouse today and she's enjoying it? I love that. Round and around and around. Yeah. It's good. It's been a good week. Been a chill week. Freezing cold, but chill. Yeah. It's just nice when life kind of has a rhythm to it, you know? And, okay, we'll do 30 single crochet around. I'm going to just make and sew spots on. We're not going to try and build any in. How much of a dome is our little lady? Is she very dome? She's kind of dome. Okay. I don't have a lot of this colour left. I can go grab a new ball of it, but I don't have a lot of colour left. You've had a rather terrifying week. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm nervous to ask what makes a week terrifying. Can't drink any more water. I'll not be able to sleep until 4 AM. Yeah, okay, fair. That's fair. I'm going to make her a little fish next and see if she likes that. It's just really cute. Oh, all of a sudden a bunch of Ekans are coming to your house. And I'm going to assume that they are uninvited. I can see how that would be a problem for a lot of people. Yes, yes. Pay the pet tax. It's not a rule, but it is a suggestion. There we go. Alright, and if I just pop this in the way it's gonna go. How are we looking? We're looking fine. Looking fine. And that will go there. You're not the tallest, Boog. But you're doing your best. I think maybe once more around and then we close off. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, no, never mind. I was like, oh no, the finishing off point's going to be front and center in the middle of the back. And then I was like, oh, well, at least it's the back, so at least it won't be visible in photos. And then my thought was like, oh, I'll cover it over with a spot. We'll be fine. I'm like, yay! The real question is, when we're posing, do we want her to be like flat on the ground with her legs on the ground, or do we want her up on her butt the way she is shown in the profile pic? This one. No, we don't need that one anymore, do we? We're now formally naming this one. You want to name him Wish Sonic? We are running out of Outback, but it's not going to be a problem. I think we'll try and balance her up on her butt. I think it's just a slightly more dynamic position. That means I'll put weights in the back of the body so that it balances a little bit better. I'll just have to be careful when I stuff. I think that's a good solution. Because yeah, ideally we'd like to finish this one off pretty quickly and move on to another one. So for the record, Ledyba was one of the entries on the Just One More board, which kind of got retired way earlier than I thought it would. It was such a good idea, but then it just didn't end up being practical for us. Sorry, just deciding to smooth off the back curve a little bit. So rather than just going straight to 6 decreases around, we're going to use 3 and 3. And I think it's just going to give us that nice little smooth dismount off 30. And then after we get down to 24, we'll go back to proper 6 decreases in our round to really finish it off. This week's been maximum rough, but you're really proud you still managed to follow through on returning to your workplace. Okay, sounds like a few people have had a bit of a rough week. And I'm sorry to hear that. It's like sometimes weeks can be a bit rough. Sorry, the idea of referring to your problem as Ekens's. Sorry, it's tickling me. I am not laughing at your problem. It does not sound like a fun problem to have. I'm very much laughing at just referring to them as Ekens's. Which was a neat little solution on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to avoid upsetting anybody in the chat. 2, 3, 4. What's that yarn chicken at play? Can I finish the round? There we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, we can't finish the round. All right, hold on. I'm going to go grab another ball of Outback. Hopefully I still have another one. Now, I know none of you will be panicking because you're nice, calm people. Level-headed, really. As I rummage in the background. Where is my Outback? Panicked skeleton noises. I found it! We found the Outback! Get back in there. need to tidy this room up a little bit. Okay. Outback. Need to remember to add that to my spreadsheet. I keep a yarn inventory, and it's only as good as my ability to keep it up to date, which is not strong. It's frequently out of date the second I buy stuff, to the point where Benjamin is currently filled with spared balls of yarn that I didn't necessarily need to get. But then I'm also, like, running out of apricot for some reason. I don't remember using a lot of apricot after Big Chungus back there, but yeah, anyway. Sorry, I'm just wrestling with my shelving. Okay, and we'll just work this like a colour change. It's the easiest way to make sure that the knot is on the back. There we go. Yeah, Benjamin. Alrighty, and around we go again. The screaming of the dismayed skeleton sounded from beyond the purple void, betraying the lies of calm that it tells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, good. Sleep time. Good night to everybody who's leaving. Thank you for hanging out. Five, 6, 7. Okay, look, I don't know where I pulled Big Chungus from. I'm just referring to the tardigrade behind me, and that is not formally their name. I've heard it somewhere, obviously. Six, 7. If you cannot count, why not be the count? Okay, good, good, good. And now we'll trim this off. It's just, I'm not formalizing that as his name. It feels mean. Go. There we go. Alright, so now we're just closing off the back here. We'll make one leg, maybe one spot, and then we'll move right along. We should start the name vote soon. Night Breeze, thanks for hanging out. You gotta get up and open all the windows, otherwise it'll be intolerably hot in the house tomorrow. I leave the windows and doors open all the time. I don't like feeling trapped in my enclosure, and I just love having whatever temperature it is outside. I like to deal with that. I like to complain about it, don't get me wrong. We all have our coping mechanisms, but I feel I can't really sleep properly if the window's not open. And thankfully we can leave other elements of our house open a lot of the time as well, without being too unsafe. Okay, there we go. Do we stuff yet? One more round, I think. Oh yeah. What is a house if not, well, in our case, a unit? What is a unit if not an enclosure? It's just like you gotta fill it with enrichment activity. So you gotta make sure it's a suitable environment. You can tell I've played a lot of like Zoo Tycoon. I'm just like, what would make the creature happier in its enclosure? Well, it wants the windows open, and if it can fill the house with plants, you gotta let her. You gotta let her fill the house with plants. They'll all die, which means you have to add a panicked skeleton in to look after all of the dying plants. without a huntsman spider sneaking in. Oh yeah, I saw my first, I don't think it's a real huntsman. It's one of those little wolf spiders. It's about this big. I saw my first one ever in the city the other day, and it's moved in amongst our pot plants, and I'm so excited to meet it. Don't know where it came from, but I hope it's happy here. Because normally here we don't really get spiders. Not in the city. Not in the part of the city I'm in anyway. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. 31? Yeah, okay. That is a warm day. It is. We're getting beautiful weather here at the moment where they're like crystal clear blue skies, but freezing cold breezes, and the nights are absolutely frigid. So like that's pretty fun weather. I like that weather. That's it. I love a purple sky as well. I'm excited for a spider. Of course I am. Spiders are known entities, okay? Spiders keep all of the other things away. And if you have big cockroaches, you need big spiders. And I'd much rather a spider any day of the week. I forgot to put a rock in your butt. Let me find one. Got a new bag of rocks recently. I just go down to Bunnings. In this case, I got 1 kilo of frosted brown pot topper. But they're just little glass beads. I think they're for like $4 or something. I prefer to get white most of the time because it blends a little nicer with the stuffing, just in case my stitches have been pulled too tightly. But in this case, this is what I could find. So this is what we got. Gotta just take some of that out. Put this in the front. Sorry, have you balanced your ladybug? There we go. Add stuffing. Thank you. Okay, I've put them to the side. That's so annoying. Get around. I have a bit that I do want to be the top because it's like got this little zigzag bit. Okay, that's pretty good. I reckon we'll be able to balance that pretty nicely with the legs. It just needs to have, the weights are just giving it a downwards direction, and I can work with that to balance if it's a little bit more side to side. These are achievable things. And 6. Oh, there's a guinea pig on the Discord. Oh, his name is Orange. Psst, psst, psst. Orange. What a good little kitty. I love the orange ones. Like, they so seldom have a single brain cell, and I just love them. Have you already balanced your ladybug today? We'd like to talk to you about your ladybug's extended warranty. There we go. And Daiquiri, might I say that your noodles are looking phenomenal. That's 10 out of 10 good noodles. It just means that because I want her to be a little bit more upright, I won't attach her head the way I normally would for a bug. Instead, I'm going to tilt it forward to build the pose in, so it looks right in the picture. Oh, I forgot to mention! Okay, so I have finally submitted to the printer the Gen 1 poster. For my wall, so that I can have it on my wall. Not, this isn't a product or anything. But like, it did not go to plan, and I got like Slenderman in the office works. And then they couldn't do same day printing, and so it's just sort of there. But I look forward to seeing how it turns out, but it's there. It's been submitted. I had Mr. Bones go through and check everything for spelling, and I'm having it printed at A2 and A3 just to see which one I like better, and then whichever one turned out clearer and legible and whatever will end up on the wall. I don't know if it'll be a visible wall for you guys, but it'll be a visible wall for me, and I'm very excited about it. Particularly as Gen 2's nearly done, so then I can just like do the same thing again for Gen 2. Alrighty. What does our lady still need? She needs some feats of greatness. Alright, we need white for that, and we need blue. You are one. I'm tempted just to make the image, the file image. Thank you. I'm tempted just to make the file image available on Patreon as just like a downloadable type of thing. Why, yes, I'm Loot. And you know what? They've been there for a couple of weeks now. I do love putting little bits and pieces in the background just to see if they get noticed. But yeah, I found Sneck in a box at the top of the wardrobe a while ago, and you may notice that I can now look at it without just losing my mind. So that's progress. But yeah, he got wedged up there, and so there's the potato snack in the background. I'll wait and see how the prints turn out before I post it anywhere, though. That's all. It may even, it depends. There is potential that I'll be able to add it to the merch store as like an actual printed poster, but like, I think a digital version can be just made available to folks. 4, 5, 6. I think that's way easier than trying to get it shipped anywhere. You're going to make me do tubes of 3, aren't you? You're as bad as those Gen 5 monsters. Yeah. Gen 5 put me a little bit through the ringer. I don't want to like oversell it, and I won't be doing any reveals or anything today, but just like something about the Gen 5 Pokemon this week, they were just not, they had zero chill. They had zero chill. They weren't even that hard, and they just refused to assist. But it means that I am familiar with making this sort of bobbly thing. We'll do 3 front post single crochet, and then we'll do 3 single crochet around. Pokemon family back there is beautiful. Thank you. It's a row of Gen 2, which we just finished, and then we've got all of Gen 5 was out and on display because, I mean, you'll see them as part of the Pokemon video on Thursday. I haven't really finished editing that one yet, but I'm worried the vibe is a little bit off in it. But I'm just going to see if I can fix it. It was just a little bit frustrating that, I don't know, the pacing isn't quite right in it, but I might be able to fix it in editing, so it's not a big deal. I'm worried about the future of the series if I find it frustrating, because if I'm not having fun, y'all aren't having fun. But I'm not making any kind of big announcements about it right now. Three. Wait, is that 3? That's 3. No, that's 4. 5. 6, and I think we can all agree that I will do the rest of these tubes by myself. I do not think you need to suffer the tubes with me. Well, they're threebs, technically. 3-stitch tubes. How many Pokemon in this gen we haven't named yet? Actually, I think we've named most of them now. In fact, we're about to start the name poll for Ledyba, and then I'll look up that number for you. It'll be like 1 or 2. I think we haven't named Sylveon and Espeon, which I think are this gen. That's it. I wish I could make another video like that silly AI one, but it's not worth the risk of YouTube eventually developing a bad AI policy. Oh, no, there's already an AI policy firmly in place. I don't like doing anything that supports it, because for every moment I show how badly they work, somebody else gets the idea of like, oh good, I can just do that. And I think there is enough AI rot happening in the crochet industry that I don't want to contribute to the noise around it, frankly. Everything about it kind of leaves a real bad taste in my mouth, and so I don't want to like engage with it. Which is sad, because like it's a fun video. People would definitely click on it, and I would probably have fun doing it, but I just ethically feel very conflicted about it, so I'm not interested right now. We'll see where the future takes us. Mr. Bones, if I could please get the name list. You've probably posted it recently, but I cannot see it currently on my screen. Thank you. Okay, the current name list is, we have Francis, we have Ledyba, as in Lady Gaga, but Ledyba. Ah, no, what did that do? I just looked up Mr. Bones' post history on YouTube. I dislike his whole screen. There we go. And add an option. We have Spoticus, which is very, very entertaining. And Mitten, singular. Because Mitten is one of a kind. Here you go. You may name the little boog. Oh, you know, I'll be making a spot. Possibly an antenna, given that that's kind of the theme for today. Let's make an antenna, because it's the theme for today. I just like to start the name vote before we're all done, so that it's not just like me just twiddling my thumbs here, you know? So, let's see. These antennae have a decided shape to them, as do most shapes. They're kind of a tube, and then a point. And I'm actually going to make this the finishing off point, so we'll start from the base, and leave front loops free for sewing, because then I can get a nice pointy tip on them. Is his history sketchy? No, his history is very moddy. See, spag bowl is one of the few pure pleasures in life. Like, Mr. Bones does a terrific pot of bolognese. 4, 5, 6. We like to fill our freezer with it periodically. And then I use red lentil pasta because I'm one of those people, but yeah, we just do pasta bakes and spag bowls, and we used to do toasted sandwiches with it as the filling as well. That's the good stuff. Antennae, the life providers. 6. Came home a month ago to Mitch making his own pasta sauce, and it was so good. Yeah, there's something good about it, and there's also just a real loveliness to just a big pot of, I mean, I'm calling it bolognese, but pasta sauce also works. Just like the homemade stuff. It's just like, anybody in your life struggling? Make them a pot of bolognese. Freeze it into like little packs, and then you know that you have provided them home cooked meals for at least a couple of weeks. Like, it's just nice to feel like you have something you can contribute to the village. And my contribution is largely called Mr. Bones. It's like, here, I have contributed him to the village. You don't know which name you want the most? Okay, we have a little bit of time to decide. It looks like Ledyba is currently in the lead, but it's very, very close. There's like one vote between Ledyba and Spoticus, so pick very carefully, everybody. Lest you end up with a name you did not want. Can't we name her the Ledyba Francis Spoticus Mittens? No, that's too many letters. I've learned my lesson, particularly having tried to get this poster printed. I've learned my lesson about limiting you guys on how long I let some of the names be, because Bam Bam, the Bone Wielding Man, Fastest Femur in Pallet Town, I don't know if it's going to be readable, even at A2. And like the Ned, the Nice Neddington, called Kingsley the Nice Neddington, 69th of his name as well. Like that one's another one where it's just like I've let you all run a little bit wild, and I have to at least put some kind of character limit in the mix. 3, 4, so that when we occasionally slip, we know that it's worth it, you know? Adding the little turn. Ariados is called Ariana the Grande Arachnid. Oh, that's so fun, actually. Having Ariana the Grande Arachnid and then Ledyba. And then just Alan. Then we'll do 4 single crochet and a decrease. So I've added the little corner to the antennae, and now we're just making it little. Hey, I'll have you know Ariados turned out exactly the size Ariados was supposed to. Oh, and I promised I'd look up how many we had left to name. Let me just do that real quick. Okay. We have just Espeon and Umbreon, and the ones we haven't made yet. Because we've just named Ledian, I'm going to pop the name Alan in right now. There we go. So yeah, just Espeon and Umbreon haven't been named yet, and there's no rush to do those today. There we go. Where's Ledian on this list? I'll tick it off right now. Feels good. Feels good. A plush is never too big or too small. It becomes exactly the size it's supposed to. I agree with that. The sprite is riding the tortoise. Right, I hope you are pleased with the name you have chosen, for it is locked in. And I'm closing off the poll. There we go. Alright, you have officially named Ledyba Spoticus at 41%. Then came Ladybaba at 34%. Francis at 14% and Mitten at just 11%. So thank you to everybody who voted. Spoticus. Fantastic name. Except for Gyarados, who we still need to see a giant body pillow-sized version. I don't know. I'm kind of a little shy of, like, I'm shying away from doing giant ones after what happened with the tardigrade. Because I've just never had something go that unexpectedly, unplanned, out of control. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm a little bit about actively attempting a big project. However, I do have a big project planned, and I think you guys are going to really like it. It's sadly not a Gyarados, but not everything can be. You want to name them Umbreon the Espeon and Espeon the Umbreon. Tell you what, if I forget to name them before the poster needs to get made, that's what I'll go with. There's his little singular, and so we need to make a bunch more arms, one more antenna, and I'll just do one spot for the back. And I'll do it in actual black. Or maybe I won't. Alright, never mind folks, I don't have black on me at the moment, so I won't do it in actual black. That is where we're going to call Ledyba. Hello. This is Spoticus the Ledyba, and they'll be going right there. And we will pick our next Pokemon while I clean up a little bit. There we go. So today's theme is the number of spikes on a Pokemon's head. I've had a little bit of fun with the colours, as anyone who was here for the first vote knows. And I'm going to be going and taking the other half of my break while you guys pick who you want to make next. So, let's see. 1, 3, and 6. So, the one behind door 1 has 1 spike, door 3, 3 spikes, and door 6, 6 spikes. So, you guys can pick whomever you would like to make next, and I'm going to eventually throw us to a break and see you guys in a minute. Yeah. Hello. We're back a little early because I've already taken a break today. Okay, I'm closing off this poll. It looks like it has been a victory for the Boring Colour Brigade. Huzzah! The Purple Menaces won the first round. Boring Colour Brigade won the second round. You guys have picked door number 6. Let me just simplify the screen a little bit for us. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh no, the ladybugs, they're swarming. You guys have picked door number 6 with 44% of the vote. Then came door number 3 at 34% and door number 1 at just 22%. So I don't know who you expect to find behind door number 6. I didn't actually see any guesses. Normally there's a little bit more conversation around the guesses. But nevertheless, let us reveal. Oh, Fiara, I am so there with you. I actually think it's extremely rude for a horror movie ad to be an unskippable ad because I don't need that kind of stress in my life. I'm terrible with jump scares and I'm terrible with like certain subject matters and I can't look at them, and so my only option is to close the window, and then how will I ever be able to find the video I was trying to watch again? The Ladybus was stacking. Alright, anyway, sorry, here we go. Let me just reveal who was behind door number 6 because I have dragged my feet enough. Let's just say that this particular Pokemon has been signed and sealed and Delibird. Trying to keep his ponytails green. So yeah, Delibird has 6 little points on top of his head. And I dyed them green. Because I didn't want you to guess what they were. I always thought of this guy as an owl, but he's so clearly a penguin, I don't know how I arrived at owl. I am okay. So yeah, we're going to make Delibird. Is it Delibird or is it Delibird? Because Delibird is a very funny pun given that he is clearly carrying around a sack of presents to deliver. But I've always said Delibird, and that's what is more comfortable for me to say. I'll let you guys discuss. Because green is good. What's wrong?
First of all, no toe beans, no foot pads.
Okay.
It's his tail.
Yeah, I know it's his tail.
What? Also,
how incredibly upsetting is that? It's its tail, but it's open and he holds it shut.
What is that?
What is that? Is it like a kangaroo pouch?
What happens if you let go?
Is it mucusy in there?
Is it warm?
Moist.
Blah. But also, have you checked out his hair from behind?
No.
He's like Fry Tuck.
Does he have a bald spot?
He doesn't have a bald spot.
Oh, look, there we go.
He has a bald continent.
Sorry. Mr. Bones has annotated the reference images he has provided for me. He does. He has a dome. I like this stuff. What? You were like a flustered chicken. Okay. We're going to make Delibird. I'm excited for this. Let's do it. I have been pitching Delibird at you guys since I think the very first stream. You got to make him with green tufts. No. Oh no, why so upset? The top of his head is bald. It is! Well, covered in the same feathers as the rest of his body. Unless we consider that also to be flesh. Is he a flesh penguin? We could call him the postman. Because the sign sealed Delibird. That's fun. The bag is his tail, yeah. I'm going to draw here-ish, I think, is the plan. And we'll see how we go. So the only really complicated bits on this guy are that tail. Sorry. And like the head spikes and chest fluff. Because like everything else is just straight up penguin. She's got no fingers to worry about. No real toes. But he has a button. Don't we all? Okay. And this scoops around. that. And this takes up most of his front, really. You want to name him Klaus? Claus. Oh no, I hate the bag tail. No, embrace the bag tail. It's going to be shaped like this. If I do like a little mini of him from behind. Because, by the way, his hair cuts off like here. He has like a red dome. And then it's just like spikies around the back. And his little eyebrows showing up. And then his tail is kind of like attached to the butt and then curves around the body. In the Pokemon that nobody asked for. And I won't say nobody wants, because we want him. We're making him because we want him. And nobody deserves to feel unwanted. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Will the bag tail open? Kerry, I have not made that decision yet. I hope not. I hope not for all of our sakes. I am going to make it the right shape at least, but then I think I'm going to pose it with like the top of it held shut by the flipper, the way he is in the picture.
If you're going to have it held shut by the flipper, could you do me a favour if you are going to, with the tail?
Okay.
Could you not sew it shut? So it's literally holding it shut, and if you were to let go, you could get the stuffing out.
Okay.
Because he's got stuffing in the tail, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's the idea where it's a sack and you can just open it. It's like,
Then get in it.
What do you get if you open Delibird's tail? You get stuffing if he's crochet.
I will think about it.
Yeah.
It's a ponderance.
It's quite foul if he's made of bird.
It's foul if he's made of bird.
Yeah. Yeah, like instead of made of crochet, he's made of bird.
He's made of bird. What are you made of? I don't know. Bird and nonsense. Bird nonsense and good vibes. So many little spikies for us to deal with. The bag tail doesn't bother you? It's not that he's unwanted, just he takes some getting used to. Yeah. But he's welcome here. I'm seeing a lot of picots in my future. And here's like 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 1. I'll shorten that down a little bit. I don't know if I've nailed the proportions on him, but I've done my best. Yeah, I think I've done my eyes slightly too small, my beak slightly too small. Guess what, everybody? It's Outback time. I'm telling you, they must have just decided that they were the official colours for this gen. And I never really noticed it until I started trying to make them all, but I'm wondering if every gen has like official colours that you can kind of identify in the making of. He's like a Santa a little bit. Like, I think his backstory is that he stuffs his tail full of presents and carries them around and gives them out on Christmas. He's like the Christmas special in Pokemon form. Well, yes, we will be in Picosity. That's Pico City. I missed a spike on right chest floof. Oh, I did. Look at that. I think that's where it like tucks under his arm. But it doesn't tuck under his arm on the other side. Okay, yeah, no, he just has an extra spike on that side. Thank you. He's artfully asymmetrical. Okay, so in terms of shape here, I'm going to try and make the head and body all in one piece. Because I can't see any reason why not. Which means I need to get his proportions looking all cute and flippery. From the side, he's just a little dumpling. Wait, the head should be twice the body. So that's that. The beak we'll make is just a separate piece. No big deal. The eyes, I'm going to use safety eyes, but I'm going to make a piece that they snap on through where it's like white and then a little bit of a black edge. It does mean that I might have to get this eyebrow coming down between the eyes. I don't know. I don't actually know how we're going to make that piece. I'm probably going to make it as a band that goes around the head. Like one long strip. That has, like at the back at least, rows of picots. Right? Because the back is pointy. And then I will need to like line up picots on either side of the eyes as well. So this will then just like continue. The eyes can then go over the top of that, or they can go underneath that, depending on what works best for us there. Current name list is Nick, Claus, Bertie Sanders, and Bobo Baggins. You don't think it's super specific? He might be symmetrical? Alright, I'll look at some other references here as well. You're right. He's fluffier in that one there. You know what? My original picture was a lot closer to the way he looked in. Oh my goodness, look at his little... He's giving like sort of like... in the 3DS images, and it's very cute. But he only has one little button. You know what? I'm thinking about the bag, and I think it's kind of like an innie belly button. So, I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but that's how I'm going to be thinking about it. So yeah, one wraparound piece for around the face, and then I'll make a chest floof that is because around the edges, but has some three-dimensional quality to it. So like it like branches out a little bit. I keep drawing them the wrong way. There we go. Branches out a little bit, so it's got some fluff. I'll stitch on his little belly button. His flippers are flippers. We'll use them to get down. And his feet, probably more picots if I'm honest, but like either way, that's not a challenging shape. The tail is a bridge to cross when we get there, where I'll make like a round blobby piece, and then it needs to like swoosh out and around, and that's going to depend entirely on how the rest of those pieces are fitting together. So we'll see. You're disturbed, but you see the vision. Thank you. Okay, a Pokédex entry. Delibird carries its food bundled up in its tail. There once was a famous explorer who managed to reach the peak of Mount Everest thanks to one of these Pokemon sharing its food. See, they're just good guys. They're just good guys. Alright. So I have red. Technically it's Outback, but it is the themed colour. I have plenty of white here. I don't know if we'll get to the white bits. And I have yellow here as well. And I also have dark grey, but my black is gone walkabout. I will locate it when it becomes relevant. I don't know if that'll be today. So, we have our little pieces. We're naming this guy. I'm going to turn the page. Oh, actually, one thing that I forgot to do is when I went on break, I saw a bunch of interesting names come up for Espeon and Umbreon. And so I'm gonna give you guys one chance to name them. So we have Polo and Artemis. We have Umbreon and Espeon. Deliberate, so it would be Umbreon the Espeon and Espeon the Umbreon. I just really liked that for some reason. And I also really liked Epsilon and Upsilon. So there we go. You're naming Espeon and Umbreon right now. You are welcome. There we go. And I'm going to start by making us a little base piece out of my red. In the N64 minigame with Delibird, his tail / bag got bigger the more you picked up with it, so I think you've got wiggle room on size. Well, I mean, that's good to know. But tell me, is he a pupil blinker? We have to know. Because, like, those eyes, there is potential there for them to be all oh so pupily, oh so blinky. The bag got huge. Wow. Okay, good. So I might be able to just get away with just doing a full-on blob if I need to. I'm hoping not to resort to that, but it's good to have a backup plan. I'm learning from past mistakes right now, and I'm not going over 15. Okay, here we go. No pressure, anybody. Sorry, it'll make me laugh. Go over 15. Sith Assassin. Every time I see somebody trying to spur me into a dark path, I look up and it's your name. One row in. Haven't messed anything up yet. Honestly, the biggest part of designing is not about doing things perfectly. It's about just rolling with however things turn out. It's like, if that turns out a little big, cool. Can we make the other one bigger? No? Alright, well then he's got a big leg. Maybe he's in a pose. His head is crooked. Fantastic. That's just personality. Whole thing coming out 4 times the size you thought it would? Learn from me and don't try and finish it. Just frog it and go back. Everything else we roll with. That is one that you should pay slightly more attention to. He's a pupil blinker. No! Oh, betrayed. Betrayal. Most foul. Okay, that's fine. It's just like there was so much potential there for him not to be a pupil blinker, but then I looked at him and he just felt shifty. Like a shifty pupil blinker. Oh, I kind of want him to have like a tail that's like so big and fluffy it has turned into like a giant pillow. Like I'm gonna try and do my idea justice here, but like keep in mind that I may not. And then he's just like loafed out on it because he's so comfy and he's asleep. And he's so comfy and he can just sleep on it and he's having a nap. And the image is not coming together. I did not think it would, but he is napping on his own tail because who wouldn't if given half the chance? To be fair, I did try to suggest tossing the bug. That's true, Sith Assassin. That is true. Meanwhile, I've decided to give myself a fighting chance with the details on this one here and go slightly larger than planned, which of course is my first mistake. Okay. We're showing so much restraint, and then it all just went out the window. Happy time zone, Nikid, and happy time zone, Harry Chi Crochet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did I update the counter? I did. Good. Did I? Sorry. Hold, please. I did not. This is our 89th Pokemon, not our 88th. There we go. Much better. Yeah, Delibird beanbag. Exactly, exactly. 1, 2. What am I doing here? When was my last increase? Back there. 4, 5. Yeah, palace cats or like snow leopards who don't like their pawsies to get cold. Or you could just take it on like do it like the tigers do, which is like the lady tigers will just climb on the back of the males. Just like, you sit on the cold ground, I'm going where it's warm. Oh, hang on, we've got conflicting reports coming in from our pokey experts. This may not be a pupil blinker after all. Okay, Yep, I'm looking at it. His eyes close fully. He is not a pupil blinker. The whole white is the eyeball. So, we have confirmed. Google lied to you. That's fine. I think that there's also like a notion of they've done different versions of him in the past, or that like how much of the eye counts as the eye. Frankly, I think we're the only community asking seriously, is this a pupil blinker? And we have shouldered this burden. We've taken it upon ourselves. And we take it very seriously. What if I stuff his tail with the beans? I have beans, but I don't think his tail's going to be large enough for it, and if I do that, I'm sewing it shut because I'm not risking the beans getting loose. Cannot have loose beans. They wreak havoc on every ecosystem. How are we so close to the end of Gen 2? Feel like we just finished Gen 1 about 5 minutes ago. We finished Gen 1 back in, what, November? Well, that's when the video came out. We finished Gen 1 end of last year. And I told you guys all at the time when that video came out, I did say we'll be finished with Gen 2 by June and probably finished with Gen 3 by December. So brace yourselves for that. I don't know if we're still on track to finish Gen 3 by December, but we have 75 odd Pokemon to make left in it. Hold on. I love my spreadsheet. We have 101 Pokemon to make for Gen 3. So we'll finish Gen 3 by June next year. At our current pace of about 2 Pokemon a week. Sometimes anime does pupil blinking shenanigans. Oh, yeah. Of course. Things will start slowing down for us. Like I said, I think we've got a year to finish Gen 3. And then we have... I ain't doing the math. Okay, we have like about 80 Pokemon. We have 78 Pokemon left in Gen 4. So that's about 9 months as well. Gen 5 in the meantime will keep ticking along. I've done 18, you only know 12 of them so far. But every time I do an episode, that's another 6 more in that particular bucket. And because it's all happening in one gen, it's going to build up pretty quickly. Whereas like when I was coming from any of the first 4 gens, it was very like spread out, so you didn't really notice it as much. I feel like we're going to start noticing big chunks of Gen 5. It'll click at one point. It'll be like, oh, there's not very many. And then I'll do an episode and it'll be like, oh my goodness, we're nearly done Gen 5. You're going to say good luck finishing Gen 3 by December. Yeah, I miscalculated. I forgot it was one of the big gens. Because like Gen 1 is big. Gen 2 is, let's say small, it's 100. Gen 3 is big at 135. Gen 4 is smallish at 107. Gen 5 is huge at 156. And then we've got 72, 88, 96. And so, assuming we make it that far, Gen 6, 7, and 8 might end up lumped all in together. Because like it's 72 Pokemon. Gen 6 is going to take 30 weeks all up. That said, I finally encountered a Pokemon that I do not want to make. Don't get me wrong, there's things like Blacephalon. That's his name, right? The firework guy? Oh no, I'm getting confused with Bucephalus. It's a feature from Roman Tales. No, Blacephalon is the firework one. It's like I'm nervous about making him, but that's not the same thing as not wanting to make him. There's one of the cloud Pokemon. You know how there's like Thundarus and Eternatus? Like they're like the storm cloud dudes. Well, there's a pink one. There's a pink one. I learned about it from, I think it was a Delicious James video, and I'm just like, I don't want to make that. It's like way too human, and also really just ugh, and just blah, 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 blah. It's no one's favorite. I'm calling it now. Okay, I've made you too big. Or have I made you just the right size? I've made you just the right size. It's just an endeavor. We're just putting the work in. I'm gonna try and find it. Hold on. Oh, Eternatus is not the one I was talking about. I like Eternatus. I have no idea how I'm going to possibly even attempt to make that, but that's neither here nor there. What is your name? It'll be one of the later ones. My goodness, Gen 5 does go on, doesn't it? Okay, so it's... Okay, it's like Tornadus and Thundarus, but there's another one. For some reason that's not linked like my others. That's annoying. There's like a pink one. I will find it. I will find it. Okay, it's not Aurorus. I like Aurorus. Oh, it's a Namorous. Ugh. I don't know. It's hit a weird corner of my brain. I have no interest in having anything to do with it. It yucks me. It yucks me. I'm sorry if that is actually a favourite of yours. Yeah, it's a Namorous. Thank you. Fiara had it before I did. Okay, I don't actually mind the Therian form. I still think it's silly looking, but like I don't mind the Therian form as badly as I mind the human form. Yeah, it's the Cloud Genie folks. I have been watching Delicious James. He's kind of lumped in with like the Zane Games ones and the Peter Koifish, I think is the other one. But like, yeah, it's a fun group to watch. I watch everything in that little ecosystem. So one of you recommended it. Might have been you. So thank you for that. Am I trying to find my stitch marker? I don't know. I found it. Thank you. It is attached. Oh, I don't like that. I really don't like that. The trio was in Gen 5, but it looks like they added this to Legends Arceus. Yeah, see, I didn't mind the originals. Like, I could get past it. Then I wasn't super excited to make them because they were basically humans on clouds. But at least I didn't have to overly worry about fingers and toes and that sort of thing. It's like I could get past it. Whereas like this one here, I don't know what it is about it, but it just makes me uncomfy. Make their Therian forms? Maybe, but I don't know if that's in keeping with the rest of the choices I've been making regarding which form gets made. So, something for me to think about by the time we get to Pokemon 905. We got a long way to go before I'm worried about that, I guess. Oh, yes, Annie. Okay, perfect. Yes, Inali. I know who you are. I have connected the dots. It was you who recommended it to me. So thank you for that. Good night, Angry Bear Ironworks. I hope you got lots of writing done. But even if you only got a little done, any words is progress. Broxish is one you don't care for. I am entertained by Broxish. I have not yet thought about having to make those colour markings, but I am entertained by the notion of the bitey fish. And yeah, like I'm fine with that one there. Some, like, there's going to be more and more weird ones the further in we go. Do I need to put it on the screen? Alright, let's make everybody uncomfy. I'm going to show the enamorous that we're talking about on the screen. And, this is who I'm talking about. This is the one I'm not excited to make. And I don't really get. And, yeah. So there's that. Do we flip a coin and hope it's not the people version? And then it's got a different form, is the other thing we're all talking about, and I will show that on the screen as well. So it also is this weird love heart snake turtle thing, which I'm also not excited about because the form language doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't look good to my designer's eye. But who am I to judge Pokemon, am I right? So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I always struggle with the ones that look disproportionate to me though, because like I'm always making things to my taste, and that one there doesn't, in a weird way you kind of like it. Well, that's fine. You're allowed to like it. I don't love the others in the trio, but I don't think they'll grow on me like the trio sort of did. Yeah, it's like I'm fine with the trio. It's like they are what they are. Like, okay, sure. This thing, I don't know why it had to exist. Like, what need is this fulfilling? The turtle is better. The turtle is better. I'll give you that. Honestly, by the time we reach our 900th Pokemon, I'm probably going to be a little bit less fussy about what does and doesn't count. I'm like, you know what? I'm making the turtle form. Yeah, that's true. I should pick one decision and go with it for all of them. Speaking of which, it looks like you guys have finished off your vote for Espeon and Umbreon. And it looks like they have been named. Let's close this off. Okay, so Espeon has officially been named Apollo and Umbreon has been named Artemis. Thank you very much for the name suggestions. And with that, we have named all of the unnamed Pokemon in Gen 2, not including the ones we haven't made yet. The Therian forms are supposed to be similar to the four winds of Chinese myth. Oh, okay, sure. Like, I assumed, sorry, forgive me, I did assume that there was something cultural that I was missing about it, but I was commenting purely on just, like, the dimensions of the head and the weird snake bobble thing. Like, I think snake dragon is actually, like a thing. Or turtle dragon. Those are the, like actual things. Have you watched any of Loxton videos? He does lore video on them. I'm kind of not going too close to lore videos at the moment, and I don't mean like I'm actively avoiding them. It's just like they're not kind of my cup of tea, because I watch a lot of like PM7 and Mikey. Okay, I can never remember the name of his channel, which is bad because like I was watching a lot of them anyway, but like Mikey does a lot more of the lore stuff, and I just find that it's not hitting for me right now, and I'm enjoying a lot more of like the variety content that they're doing in general. So no need to force it. I'm also watching Jacksepticeye playing Subnautica 2 at the moment. That's the big one for me. It looks like the result of a colouring in competition. It does. Okay, and I think we like nip in a little bit more. Get on down to 12. What's the time? Oh, we've got plenty of time. We do have to finish on time today because we need to go to the grocery store. Let ourselves run out of food, which is why I baked an apple crumble this morning. But yeah, we are going to the grocery store today, so we will be finishing sharply by 3 p.m. my time, but it's only 1:15 now. I'm not saying we'll go all the way through to 3 p.m, but we will be finishing on time, regardless of where we're up to. My patterns for these are helping so much with market prep. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. I would be more open with these patterns if I wasn't terrified of getting sued. So we keep them behind the paywall. Are we naming Delibird? We are still accepting suggestions for Delibird. Mr. Bones, what is the current name list for Delibird, if you do not mind me asking? Enough time to pick another Pokemon? I'm not sure. Naked? I will check. We'll see how we feel. We'll see how long it takes us to get to a satisfying spot on this guy. If I get frustrated with his spiky bits, or I feel like I need to focus more on the spiky bits, we might just move on to another one. But we always have that just one more board. I've made this guy so big. Who was meant to be supervising me? Seriously. Despite the Gen 5 Genie things clearly being a trio, the third one is after the other two legendaries. Yeah, I think that for a while their Pokédexes were being formed as like, I might be wrong here, but it was like an evolving thing, haha. In that you didn't know if there was going to be an extra bonus after the titled, like the game legendaries. And is it Landorus? Yeah, Landorus was like a bonus extra that almost wasn't part of it. From memory. That said, if they're Gen 5 legendaries, they're coming up soon for me. It's just now occurring to me. Hooray. I'm looking ever so forward to that. Do you have shoulders, friend? Not really. How do I want to do this? Yeah, Reshiram and Zekrom. It just has big bones. It's fluffy because it's winter. It's got its feathers all fluffed out. This is too big. I have to not do this. Because like if I do it too big, which I currently think I am, the Picos will be at the completely wrong scale for it, and it'll make my life really hard. And like I need these to be at the right scale for it too, and they are not. Okay, folks. I know this hurts. This hurts you. You thought you had one over on me. You thought that I'd done the thing. I have to go back. I should have followed my original instinct. This is too big. It's going away. It's about the right size for the body. I hate it when I get a little bit of stuffing in the mix. There we go. That was meant to be his head, yeah. So like, yeah, some mistakes were made. We're fixing them. We'll thank ourselves for it later, because I know this seems like, oh, we've just lost a bunch of time, but we'll make up for it by not having to make the body as big as the body was going to have to be. Where's my latest increase? There it is. 1, 2, and it's 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that must have been the end of a thingy. When was it 5? Oh, there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. So, 21 was way too big. This is what 18 looks like. So, sometimes it's hard to tell in my defense, because 21 is only 3 stitches wider than 18. So I know that this is way too small. Sorry, way too big still. And I have to go back. And I have to stop this. Save the cheerleader, save the world, and all that. Cross it all out. Start again. And we'll go up to 15 instead of 18, making it a full 6 stitches smaller, which is just the best idea for everybody. So 12 for the head and approximately 15 for the body. No, I think 15 for the head, and approximately 21 for the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Hydrate or digest, thank you. Hydration. Rivet, rivet, exactly. Everybody hey, everybody frogs, right? Everybody frogs. Myself included. I'm so sorry, Mr. Bones. I know that you probably posted the name list, but I then got very distracted by the size of my Delibird's head. Could you please post the name list? There we go. Thank you. So the current name list is Nick, Claus, Bertie Sanders, and Bobo Baggins. I like Saint Chick, but if we do Saint Chick, I want to lose Nick. So that's kind of the option I'm providing there. Okay, that's 15. And now I do a bunch of rows of 15. You wait, we'll be caught up in like 5 minutes. Frog a lot when doing flat pieces? Well, I honestly think it's just worth it. Like, if you're after a specific outcome and you're not comfortable just like fudging the details, it's like if I'm just making something for myself, I'll just fudge it. But that's not okay when you're sharing patterns for people with people. Last you heard I was stopping at 15. Yeah, well, that was my plan. I said out loud, I know, I'll stop at 15. That'll be the right size. And then I let myself go up to 21. And then I realized it was too big and I had to go back to, you guessed it, my original assumption of I should stop at 15. 15's the right size. So, sometimes we have good brain thinky think, but sometimes we're not great at following instructions. Had to frog the doll hat so many times because it's not looking like you envisioned. That's rough. Sometimes I do reach a point with patterns where I'll either put them down and just do something else, or, and by that I mean for the week, or sometimes I kind of have to make the decision to let a thing become what it wants to become. If it's fighting me at every turn, I understand that it's probably a different scenario if you're trying to make something really specific for very specific reasons. But if a pattern is fighting me at every turn to be something other than what I'm trying to make, sometimes I take a step back and I'm just like, you know what? Okay, fine. You don't want to be the thing that I'm making. You want to be this other thing instead. And this other thing is still good. We can pivot. And thankfully I normally have the luxury to pivot because it's not like a commission and I'm not doing it for like store prep or something, you know? 15 times 3, and then we'll sloop those edges back in, and we're exactly back where we started. Like I said, we caught up real quick. Sometimes frogging is the fast answer, even though it feels like lost work. Well, frogging is faster when you're going smaller. Anyway. Can we vote on the name soon? We will be voting on the name soon. We've only really kind of just gotten started with him. Like the Megapod, yeah. Okay, cute. Really cute. Much better. Coming out the size of this, which is a much better size. And I will go like that, which will bring us up very quickly to 16. Swap the order of something I was doing there, just to account for a little bit of drift. There we go. congrats on finishing your animation. He needed to be a mega metapod. He is. I mean, megapod has become meta to the extreme. In fact, we've called him Megapod so often, it took me this long to realise Metapod is the name of the actual Pokemon. It's like Metapod looks wrong to me now. Is there a Gen 2 that I would consider Megapodding? I'm just going to be real honest here. When things get Megapoded or Pidgeototted, it's very rarely because I'm doing it on purpose. It tends to happen out of either necessity, or like with Gyarados, where I couldn't include the details that I needed at the scale he was at, if I did him too small. Or it happens kind of just because it happens, and I refuse to go back because I can be very stubborn. And I think there's a chance that Lugia will end up Megapoded by accident, just because I have an idea of how I want to do the wings with inbuilt fingers, and that will only work if it's at a certain size, so there's a chance that that one will turn out pretty big. But even Ho-Oh didn't turn out that big. Ho-Oh turned out regular sized. So I actually think that Gen 2 is pretty well behaved in terms of everything being achievable at a certain size. I think Gen 5 scares me. There's going to probably be a lot of Megapodding when we hit Gen 5. Dialga and Palkia. Palkia is bigger than average. I don't know if it's full-on Megapoded though, because like it's one of those things where if they look like they're supposed to be bigger, they don't feel Megapoded. It's when you take something like a Metapod and you make it huge by accident, that's a Megapodding. So it's kind of one of those things of like, this would have been Megapoded if I hadn't frogged it today. I don't know. That was just a whole lot of rambling. I don't know if I've answered your question. Long story short, I don't do it on purpose. Not really. And I don't think that there's any really complicated ones that require it in Gen 2. So if it happens, it happens, but I'm not planning it. And then I haven't really looked properly at Gen 3 yet because we're just trying to focus. You had a Lugia in Pixelmon named Meat Hands. That's my new favorite name. Can we please not call our Lugia Meat Hands? But also I really like that name. Do you have any Pokemon you're wanting for the Gen 2 finale, or is that still secret? Oh, I'm still being a bit secretive about it. I'm still hoping to protect a bunch of the simple ones so that we can like power through a couple in one hit. Which is arguably why we've started doing just 2 per stream. It's because I'm stockpiling the real simple ones. I still have a little bit of a reveal cooking, and that's okay. I look forward to that day. You think Lugia is actually that much bigger than the average Pokemon, so is Gyarados in your mind? Yeah, exactly. Whereas like Charizard's only like 5'6", so I'm taller than Charizard. Do you ever think about how buff your fingers are from crocheting, especially your yarn holding finger? Yeah, occasionally after I've had like a really intense couple of weeks, but normally when I've been working on a big project, but any weeks that involve like a lot of crochet, I genuinely have to fight the urge to try and climb the wall like a gecko, because I'm pretty sure that my fingers could do it, just like sadly the rest of me isn't anywhere near as swole as my finger biceps. Yeah. And yeah, honestly, I don't think I crochet as much as some of you would, because a big portion of my time is spent doing things like editing and planning and typing and that sort of stuff. And so like sometimes I'll have weeks where I crochet pretty solidly for a few days. Like this week just passed, I've just mentioned I've done 12 Pokemon. I spent like a good 6 to 12 hours a day for 3 or 4 days crocheting, but then like next week I'm probably not going to crochet at all except for stream, or working on the stream Pokemon, I suppose, because yeah, that's just how that ends up working out. Honestly, I think it helps keep me interested in the craft. I used to be somebody who would like, I'd have several hobbies and I would cycle through them and lose interest in them after a couple of months and move on to the next thing. And so like I'd be drawing, and then I'd be painting, I'd be doing something like digital animation, I'd be crocheting for a little bit, I'd be, you know, reading, then I'd be video gaming, I'd be like, you know, doing the things. You rotate through them. Whereas like this has helped a great deal in holding my attention. My attention has been locked pretty firmly on crochet, with the exception of a few weeks here and there, for like 5 years now, which is the longest I think I've ever had a singular focus. You had to check, Lugia is 17 feet, that's 5.2 meters, and 215 kilos, 475 pounds. Not sure how they measure his height, but he's definitely big. Yeah, that's a big boy. Sometimes they measure height really weird in Pokemon. Sometimes it's like the length of them, and sometimes it's like their standing height, and sometimes it's nose to tip, and it's just, sometimes it's wingspan. I reckon sometimes it's wingspan. Any of the real long boys who look like they're short but have really tall stats, it's often because they've measured them from like the tip of their nose to the tip of the tail. Mr. Bones, you could not take a Charizard. Swear, you have to watch him every second. He's out there picking fights. And that brought us to 22. Your single focus is digital art, but you dabble sometimes. So see, I think that's nice. I think the dabbling is good for... I think of it as like a cup. It's just like, I gotta fill up my inspiration cup, otherwise everything starts feeling like really hard work. And I know that if I'm not going out there and doing enough different-y stuff, even if it's just walking in a different place, then my cup gets a little empty. But no, in general we're fine. We're trucking along. To measure them like snakes and lizards. Snout to vent. I'm so sorry, I've just entertained myself so much. You went snout to vent, which is fine and legitimate, and I went, snacker to clacker. Oh my god. Okay, but where's the lie? Have I seen that person who crochets Pokemon by their actual height? So we're struggling with finding the right measurement. Yeah, but plus, I mean, in modern games, yeah, they change up the heights, where you have like an extra tall one or an extra short one. So heights are now more ranges, whereas like they used to be like a real locked in type of thing. Now I lost. I'm so sorry to everybody who lost their stitch count in the chaos. Pour one out for the lost stitch counts. Oh no. Sorry, I've actually like, I don't know if I'm going to come back down from that one there. It's there and it's hovering just behind my face at all times. I think they should always have all kinds of sizes on the decks. Nose to tail, head to toe, side to side. I don't know. You can't even trust decks colours. Like, I was watching an episode of... I don't know what they call it now. It used to be the John Michael Cup, but it's broader now. Where it's like Pokemon variety content. They were looking for Pokemon based on colour. And it took them like 4 rounds to find a Pokemon that technically counted as grey. And... it's just like, you know what? Okay. So everything in the Pokédex is pretty much nonsense. Yeah, and they have small, medium, large, and extra large Pokemon now. Okay, I've made my dumpling a little lumpy. We're going around one more time. Yellow fan, you picked a phenomenal time to go eat lunch. No, I'm sorry, we're ruining Pokemon with our theories. I thought we were augmenting them. That's true. I kind of want to know if my Pokemon is extra large or just like a little guy. The shape categories was just like, I think even they've given up on trying to keep track of what shape everything is now. Because like, it's kind of like egg groups where Pokemon can be part of more than one egg group. It started out fine, but once they reached like 300, 400, 500 Pokemon, they became a little nonsensical. Which Pokemon have I Pidgeotted? Well, Pidgey. Pidgey definitely got Pidgeotted. I don't know if any of the others really count. I'm looking behind me as though they have my answers for me. You know what? I'm going to pop the Pokédex up on the screen. It doesn't have any of the new ones, but it has all of our old ones. That's huge. Why are you like that? Do I have a smaller picture of our Pokédex? I do. There we go. Alright, we can have a little look here. So, that's a good question. Excuse me, Delibird. Who got totted out of this batch? Sorry, this shouldn't take me more than a second just to scan through. Some of them are small, but a lot of them are supposed to be small. I think Pidgeotting is even rarer than Megapoding, if I'm honest. So, let's see. Diglett potentially counts because he's only like this big. You'll catch him in my hair sometimes. But then Diglett's also supposed to be small. Pidgeot's the only one that feels disproportionately small. That I'm thinking of. Garchomp, yeah, okay, I'll pay Garchomp. Garchomp ended up very, very kind of... I don't know if he's Pidgeotted, but he's definitely a little bit chibi. Where are you, my chompy friend? Okay, yeah, Garchomp ended up very baby-faced. But I think there's a difference between ending up being baby and being totted. We may only have the one totted Pokemon, frankly. Thank goodness I don't have spoilers on the screen right now. That was nearly a disaster. No, but I'm honestly, I think I'm just getting a lot better at making things the size they're supposed to be. Honestly, I would say that Ursaring potentially feels a little totted. Because he came out a lot smaller than he was gonna be, but he's still a chunky bear, so... Alright, how many rows around did I end up doing then? 1, 2, 3. 3. Pidgeot is rarer. It is. Because it means that I've used the absolute minimum number of stitches to convey the amount of information needed, and I'm just really good at not getting myself in that particular mess. I'm far more likely to have gone too big than I am to have gone too small. It's just the way that seems to work. Yeah, smaller than they should be is totted, and unreasonably large is potted. Agreed. Like, if I'd made Gyarados the same size as everything else, he would have felt totted even though he was the same size as everything else. As for who writes the Dex entries, are you referring to, like, in-universe, or are you referring to, like, meta, as in, like, somebody's job is to sit at a desk and write the entries? Because my personal theory is that, in-universe, it's 10-year-olds, and so you kind of have to take it with that, bombastic sense of childlike wonder. It's like, no, that Pokemon doesn't burn through the core of the earth. It's quite toasty, and it's the hyperbolic nature of a 10-year-old to extrapolate from that and go, hey, they burn through the core of the earth.
You can tell it wasn't me who was writing the Pokédex entries.
Okay.
So yeah,
I could take it.
This is a Charizard. I could take it.
I could take it.
This is a Snorlax. I couldn't. This is a Delibird. Don't turn him around. It's creepy back there.
Yeah. Gabite is baby. Garchomp does feel totted. Okay. Oh, yeah, you know what? Garchomp was... I got them confused in my brain. You're right. Gabite is baby, and Garchomp is the tot. Because, yeah, he's disproportionately small compared to what he could be. I can count. Why wouldn't I be able to? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17... 4, 1. Okay. I did it. I did the math. I mean, in our world, yeah. So yeah. Someone's job is to go into Nintendo and write Pokédex entries and probably a lot of other different types of copy. But then somebody out there it's their whole job is to design new Pokemon. Like, That's a wicked job. Oh, I'm sorry, Luke. You didn't like my snacker comment? You will learn. You will learn that I am the only person who cannot be silenced. You want a Pokédex written by Mr. Bones? Maybe that's something I could do one day. Because I've got the poster coming out that has all the names on. Well, I say the poster coming out. I have a poster being printed for myself that has all their names on it, but doesn't have Pokédex entries. We could get Mr. Bones to write some Pokédex entries if we wanted. I warn you though, the man has a flair for the dramatic, and he knows how to use his writing prowess to hurt. Every entry is a fight strategy. A little bit like that. It's like, can I fight it? Can I eat it? Well, then why do we even have it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, we landed back at 12. I love it when that happens. I think Mr. Bones should write the entries for the Crochetdex for each mon you've made, or at least the beginning of it. That's true, because I feel like a lot of them have ended up with little stories along the way that are honestly a little lost to the sands of time in some ways. I mean, they've been immortalized in stream, but they could have been summarized along the way. But at this point, we're 300 deep. Ain't nobody got time to go back and fill in the backlog. Bones versus Pokemon. How is it peeled? Okay, so that is our little penguin body done. I feel like the Pokédex entry for this one should just be don't look in there. I think most of the card artists are hired by job. Yeah. Honestly though, I wish I could buy some of the art they use as cards as like prints, because I love some of the full art cards that they've done. I think they're pretty, but they're fun, or like they just evoke a mood. Like I've said it before, but my favorite one has to be Charmander's face pressed against a window pane, and on the outside you can see a Pidgey resting, and it's just like that Charmander wants to mess with that Pidgey so badly, and that Pidgey knows it's tormenting the Charmander by sitting in the garden. I'm just like, I would love a print of that. I mean, I'm not going to seek out the card because it's too small to really do anything with, and I don't really want to get into collecting the cards. It's too hard to find them, even if you could. But like, I would pay money for the art print, but you can't because it's an exclusive property, and so you can't really do that. I'm just like, I mean, there's a number of cards like that. I'm just like, I like those moments. How many Mr. Bones are needed to take that Pokemon? Alright, I'm focusing. I am. We're getting it done. This is an approximation. I'm going to make a tiny little beak. Ledyba's head from above totally looks like Mr. Mime. Yeah. I love how mega cards have Japanese move on English cards and vice versa. Yeah, that's such a cool thing. It's something I only know about from watching, I think it's Deep Pocket Monster. Excellent background noise content, that. The thought of a Charmander going ek, ek, ek. And a Pidgey like a cat of birds. Yeah. Mr. Bones is both plural and singular. You can have one Mr. Bones and you can have 3 Mr. Bones. Beak. Magic ring 3. And then back loop only. Form a skeleton equal to the cube root of the total number of skeletons. I thought it was maybe going to be like, anybody ever seen those x-rays of like toddler faces? Where with all the extra teeth? Yeah, kind of like that. I think that was actually 4, not 3. Damn it, I mucked up the point. Okay. Okay, before it looked like a chicken nugget, now it looks like a chicken nugget. I'm gonna make a flipper next. I'm flushing out the easy bits. It's interesting, I'm learning a bunch of Mr. Bones lore. Technically Cubone's bones aren't Cubone's bones. Technically Cubone's bones are not Mr. Bones, it's Cubone's, it's Mama Bones' bones. It's meant to be the skull of its mother.
I mean, you're not wrong. But also,
that's my favourite type of not wrong. Favourite type of not wrong.
The Cubone would clearly inherit those bones, therefore they are the Cubone's bones.
Oh, okay. But how much bones would a Cubone bones if a Cubone could bone bones?
The Cubone will not be boning bones.
So I'm making a flipper. Well, all of the insects technically have their bone type structures on the outside with their exoskeletons. 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Loot's back. Hi, Loot. Was that another snacker comment? Single crochet and increase and a single crochet. Ah, I see. So where chitin is not the same thing as bone, apparently.
But you're not the same thing as a fish.
That's true.
You both have hearts.
Non-some Pisces.
You both have hearts. You both have keratinous extrusions.
We both
from
have
the
a
skin.
series of fluid-filled bladders.
Exactly. But you are not a fish, and I am not an insect. Do I look anything like a bug?
I don't know, you bug me sometimes.
But you like it.
I do.
You like me.
I know. How embarrassing. I've got a crush on a boy. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. I'm glad that you've beaten the blanket into submission. It's good. It's an appropriate viewing location. The shell of the turtle is spine. That's true. That's true. One, two, three. How are we going for time anyway? Okay, we're almost at the 3-hour mark, so we're doing okay. There will not be another one today. I'm so sorry. I have such hopes sometimes, but I fear that at this point it's just leading me into like teasing you guys a little bit with it. It's just like I always come in here with the intention of making 3, and I always stop at 2. But I feel like it's better to do 2 well than rush through to get to a 3rd. I will assess next week. Because, like, it would have been cool to do a 3rd today, because then we would be onto the top 10 next week. Right? That checks out, yeah. But, it doesn't look like that's likely. I'm kind of okay with it. Name vote. Yes, yes, the name vote. We will start the name vote. We'll do it now. It's a little early, but we'll do it. Mr. Bones, what have you collected on your travels?
Yes, the name list.
Yes.
Delibird's name list.
Yes. The name list for Delibird. Delibird's name list. Okay, Klaus, Birdie Sanders, Bobo Baggins, and Saint Chick. What's happening?
Could you put this next to Delibird?
I want to check it first. I do not trust the shenanigans that have been going on today. This one or this one?
No, the top one. There you go.
Meep.
Meet this.
Okay, sorry. I think I just read them out, but I'm going to read them out again because I got distracted. Our possible names for Delibird, Klaus, Birdie Sanders, Bobo Baggins, and Saint Chick. Vote. Vote, vote, vote. Happy voting. I'll see who's left on the easy board. Because there's still a few pieces that we should try and make for Delibird here. But I'm not feeling particularly inclined to work on the white pieces on camera because I think that they're going to require a little bit more focus, a little bit more charting, a little bit more graphing. And it does not make for the most stimulating viewing, and it does not make it easy to chat either. Just gonna look like a little, just a little bird, all peeled like this. I find him appealing at least. There we go, and finish off, and we're gonna try and do a foot. And I'm tempted just to make it like literally like a little 2-dimensional nothing for this. I could always make 2 of them and sew them together if they need a little more dimension. It's not peeled, he just shaved. Oh good, so we're going back to flesh penguin. He is made of bird. A bird with hair. Well, technically I think kiwis and emus and that sort of thing, like they're birds, their feathers are a little bit more similar to hair follicles than feather quills. Also, did you know that emus have a very interesting feather structure? They don't have just bird fact. You know how normal feathers have like a single shaft and then like the feathery bits that are like feathery, right? Regular feather. Well, emu's feathers are double. They have like 2 quilly bits that come from each follicle. And then they have their little fuzzies all the way up and down each. They are like, I don't know, there's a word for it. It probably starts with bi something. Bye-bye birdies. Yeah. That's the difference between like a standard feather and an emu feather. It's fun. Okay, I made a foot. I didn't write it down, but I'm going to right now. Good morning to the UK. Bifurcation. Okay, cool. That sounds about right. They were bi-follicles. Oh, see, I feel like my pun game has been like not great recently. You guys are good for helping me with that. I made 2 feet. And I'd make the eyes, but I still don't have my black yarn anywhere that I can easily see. Oh, I have a little tuft of black. I'll make the eyes next. I don't love doing just flat pieces for feet, but I think they might actually be appropriate in this setting. I can always just make another set of each and sew them together, but I think that might actually look correct. This is what a peeled Delibird looks like. The Emu War was a real thing. History happened, okay? As long as you don't punish me, send me to the penitentiary. So the tail is linked to the belly button through his insides. No, the tail is not actually connected to the belly button at all. The belly button thing has come about because I'm like, oh, it's like an innie belly button where it's like just like a flesh encasement tube that he's holding shut. It's actually connected at the back like this, and it goes around. If he's a Delibird, can we call him lunch meat? Well, that's the thing. I actually think that the pun is meant to be delivered, like signed, sealed, delivered, because he delivers presents. But I never got that until very recently, and now I'm like, well, of course it's delivered. It's quite deliberate. Everything is better than a peeled chuckle. 5 and 6, but I'm going to change colours. We're going to do a little sneaky outlining action here. Get off my page. Ring 6, and then in black, we'll go back loops only, slip stitch. We'll see what we think about how it looks. Two, 3. How many do we need? I don't have any of my reference images up because I'm still looking at dang Enamorous. Where are my references at? Sorry, scrolling. Its eyes shut. Okay, there's the eyes open. Okay, so it goes all the way around. I'll leave 2 free to be tucked behind the beak. So you get a nice outline on an otherwise white eye. No facial hair, he's just underarmed. He's only a baby. He's only an hour old. He has no facial hair yet. There we go. I pulled the magic ring a little tight. Okay, did I get backs out? No. Delibird gets into a battle with an electric type and this thing turns up for treatment. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I'm going to take your beak off for a second. You're going to be fine. Don't be so dramatic. My goodness, that eye is huge on your little head. This is fine. It'll be fine. Y'all, I think I pidgey-totted the Delibird. I mean, look at the little guy. He's doing his best, but he's a little bit stressed. The white will add a little bit of dimension to the face, but that's... I'll make his second eye to balance him out. Is the black eyeliner or glasses frames? I think his whole eye is actually black. Because when he blinks, the whole circle is filled. So I think the white is the white of his eye. Yeah. And his eyes are black. His eyelids are black. I did it again. I pulled my magic ring too tightly. Peeled metapod is just the weird blob that caterpillars become during chrysalis stage. You know that weird blob remembers things? They've been able to check using, like, I think they used the scent to see if caterpillars would respond to scent the same way after, like, before and after being in the chrysalis, and they do remember, which means somewhere in that goo they have memories, which is, I think, part of the more upsetting, one of the more upsetting things about the whole process. Can I turn Mellow so he's facing us? Like this? Or like this? Or like this? Try and prop him up a little bit. Well, it just looks like Ledyba is doing unspeakable things to him now. Sorry about that, everybody. Well, now I need them. I wonder how they perceive the world. Yeah, I wonder that sometimes about a bunch of different things, because, like, I know a lot of critters can see both more and less colours than we can. And pop that in. He did say ooh. Okay, beak needs to come off so eyeball can go on. And then I'll just do a little bit of a finesse here. There we go. Wah. Alright, so we're missing a tail and the eyebrows and the chest floof and the other thing. I'm going to close this name vote off. Oh, wow, we had a last minute upset. Saint Chick was winning up until like a few seconds ago. But Bobo Baggins has just taken the lead. If anybody hasn't voted yet, I'm going to leave it open for another couple of minutes just because if it's swapped that recently, there's a chance that it'll swap around a little bit more, which means the decision is not yet made. When it stays stable for a really long time, I like to leave it alone. In the meantime, I will make the other flipper. He looks like a parrot. Yes. Yes, he does. No, just terribly, terribly alert, Delibird. He's not scared. Predators have eyes on the front, prey have eyes on the sides. Well, this guy has front face and eyes. And a propensity to store food in his sack. It does not say what kind of food. It does not say if it was still alive when it went in. Excuse the squeaky hook. It's got opinions today. I'm watching these percentages and they are shifting around in real time. Shocked himself by shaving, then looking in a mirror. Yeah, basically. Five, 6, 7, and 8. Then around again. Five, sorry, 6. Okay, I think we have our answer. We've gotten 8 more votes since I warned y'all, and so I think we've locked in a little bit more. What do you think? We make a half year, 12 days of crochet? Are you trying to... Andy, stop trying to make me hurt myself like that. Alrighty, Delibird has officially been named Bobo Baggins. It looked like Saint Chick for the longest time, but Bobo Baggins won with 37%, then came Saint Chick at 34%, Bertie Sanders at 17%, and Claus, or Klaus, at 12%. Thank you to everybody who voted. Bobo Baggins is an excellent name for this little guy. Maybe DCC style, nothing alive can go in the sack, or maybe in this case nothing can stay alive in the sack. It is an oxygen-less environment. Oh, good morning, Mark. Happy time zone. One, 2, sorry, just checking the time. 3, 4. Quarterly? Why not do it monthly? You have fun with that. You go right ahead. Yeah. Yes. But Baggins would like to say hello. Well, technically he wants to say meep. Let's just do it once a year, 365 days of crochet. Oh my goodness. When I tell you that I would expire, I am not even joking. It takes everything in me to get through the 12 days. And the 30 days preceding it, where I'm actually setting up for the 12 days. Besides, we're not even in June yet, guys. You can't start talking about 12 days of crochet. I know I should be already designing them, but I lack the ability to design something and then sit on it for that long. I just can't do it. Hello. Okay, but why is he so cute though? Like, I know that he still needs his monstrosity of a tail and his little white chest puff and his little white bits, but that is pretty much exactly what he will look like peeled. I kind of wish we'd named him Kiwi. Okay, a weekly 12 days of crochet? That doesn't even make any sense. I'm at a bit of an impasse here. You know what? We have 45 minutes. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do something unexpected. Hey guys, remember this board? It probably didn't look like this last time you saw it. This is the Just One More board. It's just over time we've slowly removed options from it, not using the board, using a different method. I'm gonna let you pick another one from this board. But we only have 45 minutes to do it, so you gotta make a choice fast. You can pick number 3 or number 5, and we are doing a Just One More. And then after that, I will just reveal who the final one is on this board as well, because we're not coming back to this board again. Just one more, exactly. Mark, you have missed. We've done Ledyba, and we've done Delibird, and I made 12 Pokemon this week. If you jump back to the start of the stream, you'll see them all there, but I'll probably do it by the end of the stream again as well. But we really don't have much time to work on this one here. It's going to be the quickest of quick things. We'll probably only get the base piece made, I'm warning you now. But there's something really exciting about like being up to the top 10 for next week. Gotta go fast, current name list. Whoosh. Alrighty, it looks like you guys have already kind of made your choice. With 35 votes in, I will leave it open for another, like maybe 1 more minute. I'm just cleaning up my desk. So I'm ready to hit the ground running. Bang, crash. Are you actually going to do it? Yeah, I only got 12 out of the 14 done. I got 6 from Gen 2 and 6 from Gen 5, which I'm not revealing. I think it's finally going to happen, y'all. Alright, I don't think the vote is going to swing back the other way, so I'm going to finish it now, just so we can get this rolling. Thank you to everybody who voted, though, of course. I even announced that there wasn't going to be a third Pokemon today, and then look at us go! Let's give names before we know who it is. Go right ahead. It is a bonus entry. It is one we've been hunting for a little bit of time. Number 3 won with 70% of the vote. And then came number 5 with 30%. So, the door number 3 on this Just One More card is the very elusive, the finally turning up. You guys have managed to whack the Wooper. Look at you go. I'm excited for you. You whacked the Wooper. So we're going to make Wooper. Alright, so Wooper is updating the Crochetdex counter, our 90th Pokemon, meaning we've got just 10 to go. We've got a Sprite, which I did not turn back on, but I will turn back on now. Wooper. Wooper, Wooper. Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper. Yeah, whoop whoop for the Wooper! Okay, you guys got to be on top of things though. I'm going to start the name vote in like 15 minutes. While in the meantime, I'm going to sketch the Wooper. Now, nobody got any kind of forewarning about the fact that Wooper was coming up. So, Mr. Bones won't have reference images available to him right now. So I'm going to go a little rogue. What else am I missing? We've got a little flippery tail and some paddly little feet. No foot pads! Excellent! Quickest little sketch in all the land. Don't know how I'm going to do these antennae. That's a problem for future me. As long as I get maybe the body bits done, I'll be pretty happy with it. We're doing it for the plot, everybody. Sometimes we just do things for the plot. There we go. Oh my goodness, the little axolotl buddy. That's adorable. He is the lumpiest little guy I've drawn in a very long time. I think his head is supposed to be technically more round than that. And then his body is like a little bit more like this. So that one's more like Whooper, but he's got a great personality. Smaller. And wider. Okay, I am equipped to make this decision. We need to pick a Whooper colour. We need to pick it fast. Yes, thank you, honey, for the butt pics. I have iceberg, which is slightly too icy. I'm thinking cloud. That's duck egg. That's wrong. Where is my cloud? There you are. Cloud. Oh yeah, cloud is the answer. Cloud, and then we'll use antique rose for the antennae. And antique rose is the same colour as the flesh of Slowking. It's just I used the last of it on Slowking, so I have to get a new ball of that, but I'm not going to waste time doing that right now. What is the name of Quagsire? I think it's like Muppet or something. Hold on. Getting me distracted. Gotta go fast, everybody. Gotta go fast. Quagsire is Potato Nugget. We named Quagsire Potato Nugget. Current name list: Antenna, Boop, Axole, and Mallet. Current name suggestion: Whack. Well, yeah, we whacked the Whooper. It's kind of like we have dodged the Diglett and we need whack the Whooper. I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer, but y'all are burdened with free will and I will abide by any choice you make. Oh, poor puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue Tato. No, I don't think so. Would you like fries with that? Mr. Bones, I will also get you to watch the clock for me. And if we start getting to like 3:45 and I haven't started making end stream noises, not 3:45, 2:45, let me know. What was the other mod on the board? I will do a reveal of that one there and the rest of the Spiky Boys at the end of stream. Because otherwise it's just too hard for me to find in the replay. Po po because whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Ube? Maybe? Isn't that like a purple sweet potato? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I get the joke. Look at me go. Yeah, okay, ube makes sense to me. See, what Mr. Bones is illustrating there is the fact that we currently have a dead line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excellent. 2, 3.
Mouth open or closed?
Closed. Though open is just a little pink spot, so I could do open if we wanted. Wait, why? We could call him a Ruby Lou. I think that's what those purple blue potatoes are known as over here. They make they're a white fleshed potato with a blue peel on them. And They make excellent oven-baked chips. You've got to wash the starch off them first, but otherwise they bake up really crispy and nice. Is the tail flat or an oval? I think it's flat. I think it's like a beaver tail or a platypus. How big is my whooper? Oh, no, Gray. Thanks for hanging out. Could call him blue raspberry. Could. Right, I don't think I'll go any bigger than this row. To be called clues. Let me just tell you now, whack is going to be one of the options in the poll, even if none of you like it. Call him Blueberry because he's got gets good connectivity and unlimited free texts. He is armless. He is utterly armless. He has no armies and thus must always face defeat. We do have a blueberry. We do. If I do his mouth open, I could give him one little tooth, and we could call him Bluetooth. Probably cleans his eyeballs with his tongue. He absolutely cleans his eyeballs with his tongue. Can't actually see that on my screen. There we go. That's just an upsetting illustration. I like whack. I don't even know how big this got. Possibly 18. It's not that bad. Okay, so I have a Bluetooth speaker in here, right? Because sometimes I play audio out loud. And it has a very heavily accented voice on it, but basically it also misses a word. It's like, it's definitely like AI or whatever, but like it says when it connects, it goes, your Bluetooth wife has connected successfully. And so but it says it a lot messier than that. And so every time it connects, I'm just like, thank you, Bluetooth wife. Tail is a water drop. Okay, thank you. That's good information for me. Don't know if we're going to make it that far. I'm going as fast as I can. I accidentally made it quite large. But the body is just a little nub, so we should have time for this. Current name list is Mallet, Orb, Whack, and Bluetooth. Name him Arnold. It's funny. Arnold reminds me of Armaldo, and it's like, when it comes time to name them, I actually can't think of a more perfect name for the being that is Armaldo than Armaldo. It just is who he is. Oh, hi.
You said his tail was a drop and we're in a hurry, so I made it for you.
He brought in a drop of water. I have a Bluetooth wife, yeah. I could play it, but there's a chance that I'd muck it up and the audio would go very janky for everybody. Yeah, hang on, I can show you my Bluetooth wife though. Let me just unplug it. This is my Bluetooth wife. She has connected successfully. Yeah. She's also a light. She does like disco lights around the room. I turned that setting off though. It's very distracting. All hail the orb, basically, yeah. Bluetooth wife is a bit of a raver, yeah. She was a Christmas present from... Yeah, anyway, she was a Christmas present. And, like, it has simplified my life greatly. It's like, what, you've got a Bluetooth dongle? Well, I can do one better than that, mate. I got a Bluetooth wife. I have done so many rows at this point. When was my last increase? All the way back there? Nope, that's an increase there. Two, three. Well, thank you. I'll pass the compliments along to my Bluetooth wife when I turn her ears back on. Is it like an Alexa? No, it's not. It's basically just like, you know how if you happen to have headphones that connect via Bluetooth, when you turn them on, you'll hear like a little human voice in your ear going like battery level high, pairing or connected. It's kind of like that. It's just her like little signal to be like, hey, I've connected to the Bluetooth. It's a voice that says your Bluetooth wife has connected successfully. And of course, I can't let... That is a spoken typo, and it is a beautiful thing. I love me a typo. Even better if it's spoken. But yeah, in general, I don't like... I'm a little tinfoil hat wearing about devices listening in on me, and I'm not in for it. It's why we have all of this stuff. I stream from this room here, because in this room, I can always expect that everything that I say and do is being observed. This is the room where I'm observed, and then I get to go out into my main living area and I get to live an unobserved, an unperceived existence where there are no phone, like cameras or microphones. And there's a niceness to that, because otherwise you end up feeling just watched constantly.
There are some very observant skeletons out there, though.
There are, but I don't mind if you perceive me. In fact, I get kind of offended if you don't. You started a new job recently and they have an Alexa. Yesterday we were all shouting at her because she doesn't like to listen. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm going to start closing this off now. We have achieved a head. We're at 2:30. We have like half an hour to a hard cutoff, 20 minutes to the soft cutoff. So, gotta keep going. Gotta go fast. It maybe made this guy a little big. He's only got little eyes, though. I drew him with huge eyes, but he's only meant to have little eyes, so I think we'll be okay. If I get one piece done, I'll consider it a victory. I reckon I can pound the feet out pretty fast too, actually. Alright. Sometimes you wish you could turn off people's ability to perceive you. Yeah. Let you slither through public without acknowledgement. I find that doesn't necessarily say good things about society. I find that if you kind of like, I kind of get away with it with just like wearing ratty old t-shirts, ripped up old jeans, like just going out clearly like intending to be invisible, and people's eyes just kind of start sliding off you when you're in your middle ages and you're dressed a little bit slumpy, it's good. It's good. You get to like navigate these spaces invisible. Of course, people will slam into you at speed, which is less than ideal. That's less than ideal. That's why we take our skeleton. But yeah, it is something that I need in my home, is the feeling of not being perceived at all times. And so, yeah, I get away with that by just keeping all of my perception technology in this room. And long story short, that's why I don't have an Alexa. When you have to visit people's home to do work, you ask them to turn off smart speakers while you're there. Most people will do so by request. Well, that's nice of them. That's good. Because it's like, it's one of those things where people, oh no, I don't know if I'm getting too far down conspiracy theories. I don't know if any of this is real, but like, apparently our televisions, after years of being told weren't listening to us, were in fact listening to us. And we've all had that moment where we've had a conversation about something with a human being just to find an ad for it on our phone that evening. Like, I know we've all had that experience. It's fine. We've all learned to adjust to that experience. I'm not in love with the feeling of it. Happy time zone, Amy. Hello.
Hello.
What's happening?
I was just thinking that you and I could definitely use a sieve for sieving vegetables and stuff, you know? Get all the water off them and wash them.
Ah, you mean a strainer?
It would be sorry, yes, a strainer. It would be handy to have a strainer. We should have a strainer.
You're trying to manipulate our ads again.
I'm just curious if it happens. Everyone in chat should talk about how they very much would like a strainer.
Yes, we recently spent money purchasing kitchen utensils. I wonder if anybody out there needs kitchen utensils. Just curious. We should have tried that at the start of stream, not the end of stream. Right.
If we get enough people saying it, it might eventually change the ads on the channel.
Yeah, I know, right?
It just starts shifting the target audience. Oh my god, these people, they love kitchenware.
The kitchenware. More like kitchen beware. Or just the kitchen bear. Rawr. What bear? Where bear? Over there bear. That bear there? Yes. Be aware of that bear over there. I think that's approximately where the little noodle's eyes go. Don't have time to like line them up super specially or whatever. Maybe down one so that they're even. No, that's even. They look a little crooked, but they're even. Okay, good. And we're stuffing. Snapping the backs on. Oh, there, bear? He's the kitchenware bear. Just got an ad for Pokemon. Okay, well, let's see, I'm fine with ads for Pokemon. That's kind of on theme. I'm a little tangled up. There we go. Regularly look like a hungover mum in an oversized cardigan and sunglasses, sometimes with a variety of disheveled blends, sometimes it doesn't. That's true. I'm neither a mum nor hungover, but shrug. Yeah, no, neither. Same. No mum, no hangovers here. But like, there is that perfect blend of grey that you can be. You don't pull focus. You're perfect for the background of shots. Meep. Oh, you just know he's getting a hug from the bear. Though, honestly, that's probably what's happening here. Rawr. He's just a little drop. He is. Alright, I think I need to get in a little bit more. Which brings down to 8. 8 for a little body nubbin. How am I doing on time? We're doing okay. We're doing okay on time. I'm going to start the name poll as soon as this body piece is finished. Sorry for the I'm sorry for the sense of anxiety I'm possibly imparting onto you guys. I am feeling rushed, but I know the calmer I am, the further we're going to get with this guy. We're not going to do face antennas today because it'll take me too long to find the yarn that I need. But I reckon we'll be able to get the feet done. And I'm going to try and get the tail done as well. We'll see. Okay, and now we go around. 1, 2, 3. He looks like he decapitated him. 4, 5, 6, 7. But then, like, that sort of thing is happening everywhere. Like, Mr. Bones watched one episode of a K-drama on I think that's what that's called. Yeah, like on my Disney Plus using my profile, and now my profile is pretty insistent about these other 15 shows I should watch, and I don't have anything inherently against them. They're probably fine. They might even be my type of thing. My point is that I did not make that choice, and I would rather see the list of shows I'm actively watching. Thanks. But I say all of that, and also I like when I want to go shopping for interesting and fun things. Okay, this is I'm ashamed of this revelation. Are you ready? This is embarrassing to me. You know where I get the best ads? Where I have actively shopped from them? Flippin' Facebook. It's all it's good for. I only still have it so that nobody can be on there pretending to be me, which is a concern in the modern day and age. But yeah, seriously, I get the best ads. It's where I found my Binkaboo earrings. It's where I found my Dungeon Crawler Carl t-shirts. It's, you know, I get good ads on Facebook, and I'm embarrassed by that. And yeah, I'm embarrassed by that, but at the same time, it knows what I like. Nails it. I'm eyeing off a pair of boots at the moment. It's like walking through a little like marketplace and actually seeing stuff you like. I'm like, okay, maybe there is something to these ads being customized for my experience. That said, sometimes you get some absolutely wild ones, which are hilarious to send into the group chat, right? Like a certain type of pipe from a certain type of website. Facebook is weirdly mediocre at advertising to you. Loot, I have apparently found your rage button. Like, seriously though, it has been weirdly good at advertising to me, and I don't want to be like a shill for that kind of thing, because I don't know how I feel about a lot of that stuff, but like at the same time, if I've shopped actively, I've spent money on things I found on ads on Facebook. And that's embarrassing, but nevertheless, we're friends here. She'll just go on Etsy or Amazon for stuff. Yeah, but like the problem is that in order to shop elsewhere for things, like Etsy or Amazon, I have to know what it is I'm looking for. Whereas I've bought art, like I think her name's Amy Gerard, beautiful artist. Found her through a Facebook ad, spent a bunch on some of her prints. I mentioned the earrings already, spent some money on those. Like, it's good for encountering stuff you didn't know you needed, as long as it's not a problem for you. And like sometimes I'm in the mood to like spoil myself a little bit, and I don't want to just get something that I need. And so like Facebook tends to deliver on some interesting stuff. That said, if you have the opportunity to not be on Facebook, don't be on Facebook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Nobody's on Facebook anymore. It has so much info and you're only giving it more. How is it so bad at knowing what's of interest to you? Oh, I'm sorry, Loot. It seems like you have been sorted into a bucket you do not wish to be in. Also, last time I went on Etsy to try and find anything, and I say this as a seller on Etsy. I sell my patterns on Etsy, obviously. But like, it's hard to find real stuff on there anymore. I've gotten Mr. Bones a few presents off Etsy along the way. Like, I got him a wood carving set at one point. Got that off Etsy. Oh, I got these off Etsy. Angry Bear Ironworks. You're having a stupid morning at work. Discovered the next day that you'd ordered 40 tiny glow-in-the-dark resin frogs. Why 40? That's the bit that's the bit that strikes me in that story. What took you from one glow-in-the-dark resin frog to up to 40? Do you guys use Orcut? I've not heard of Orcut. Okay, we're going to decrease around to finish off the body. I chucked a little rock in there just to give him some stability, because whoopers don't strike me as particularly stable. Almost bought a pack of 50 little ducks. Exactly. So the ducky chaos. $18 for 40 tiny frogs. Okay, and they glow in the dark, you mentioned? Okay, I would be putting those everywhere outside and just like assuming that they're not a risk of like, I don't know. I would assess the safety hazard of them, but honestly, I'd fill my garden with them. Tiny little glow in the dark frogs all over the balcony. Sneak them into people's pockets. Drop them into bags, through car windows. Sow the chaos. Be the chaos. Don't vandalize anything. Don't damage or harass anything. Don't leave people alone. Prank channels are just like, so don't do it. Pranks are not pranks if nobody's laughing. But ducks are always funny. Leave one in your friend's car each time you're in it. You could do this for months. Whopper, 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 whopper. I need to start the name vote. What's the name vote, everybody? What names did we pick? Okay, we have Mallet, Orb, Whack, which is the correct answer, by the way, for anyone asking. Is clearly Whack the Whooper. And Bluetooth. Name the Whooper! Hi. Yeah, I saw. Thank you, honey. Okay. Sorry. If you like one of the other names better, you are allowed to vote for it, and I will not be offended. I just, personally, I know what I would name this guy. In the meantime, I'm whipping up a little foot. Six. Let's try that. My official position is that there is no correct answer here, just that there are clearly 3 incorrect answers. Honestly, I think all of these names are great. I do. It's just I've formed a personal attachment with one because we had Dodge the Diglett, so Whack the Whooper makes sense to me. But then I don't feel like we ended up playing it as much as we played Dodge the Diglett either. So. You have a teacher that buys a stupid number of tiny somethings, so year 1 or year 12s can have breaks and go hunt for them. One week it was ducks, several weeks later it was crows, now it's flamingos. Well, see, I love that. All Bastero votes. Oh, I'm sorry to whoever suggested that. Please do not take it personally. I kind of strong-armed the people into the vote. How am I doing on time? I'm doing just fine on time. We need to finish up in 13 minutes, so once this vote closes, I'll be doing the reveals. But I said I'd get the feet done, and wouldn't you know it, that's 1 foot. I'm going to make another one, and then that's the feet done. That rock in his stomach is not sitting particularly well, but the tail will help balance him out. Think you played more of Whack the Whooper than Dodge the Diglett? I would have to look it up. I wasn't prepared for this to happen today. Otherwise, I'd have the numbers for you, because I have once again been tracking how many times certain Pokemon have appeared on stream, and that will be a theme coming up. So, is he sort of Megapoded? He's a little bigger than I expected him to be, for sure. I think you could claim him for the Megapod gang, but if I'd made him any smaller, I don't know. I don't know. I think he might low-key just be the right size. There we go. Come on. There we go. You made your very first crochet heart for your dad for his birthday, and for some reason you accidentally followed an AI pattern. Oh no! Oh well. You can see any that are done this week at the end. Yeah. I will, I have 12 minutes, so I'll finish this foot, I'll close the vote, and then I'll, like, we have plenty of time. It doesn't take 10 minutes to do all the reveals. It takes me 10 minutes to find the button sometimes, but I'm motivated today, so we'll see how we go. But look, okay, we totally could fit him in. We got more of him done than we've got of Miltank when it was Miltank's turn, percentage-wise. So this was achievable. I don't know about you, but I'm terribly relaxed. There we go. Pin this little footy on. And that's where he's up to. Okay, we have named Whooper. You have named him Whack. Oh, Orb got 0 votes. That never happens. Normally there's at least 1 vote for it, but we have officially named Whooper Whack. It is Whack the Whooper with 62% of the vote. Then came Bluetooth at 33%, Mallet at 6%, and Orb at 0%. So, let's do some reveals, shall we? So we'll start with the Just One More board. So most of these have been revealed already, and then we also have Natu is sitting there in the middle as a little green ball. I think we knew that one there. I'll save and close that one there. And then we have the other 2 spiky boys for today. So 1 spike was Schmeargle, who has been offered to you a number of times now. And 3 spikes was Croconaw. There we go. So those were the other 2 options today. Now the last thing I said I would do is go back over the ones that we'd finished making, and we do still have a minute or 2, so I will do that. So Ursaring is sitting here on the screen. This is Haribo with his butt bubble. Then we have Chickpea, the Chikorita. I have Deviled Egda, the Elekid. And we have Moolissa, the Miltank, including spots on the back. She dances, but her goodies don't move, thankfully. I have King Eduardo CCCIX, the 309th, the Slow King. We've got... Is that it? Is that all? No, and Ampharos. Meryl Sheep, the Ampharos. And then today we got Ledyba, Delibird, and Whooper. Those 3 started. So we have just 10 Gen 2 Pokemon to go. So we're on that real final countdown. I have a handful that I absolutely have to get done before the final 5 now. It's just like there are some I just don't want to finish on. But there's a small handful that I'm happy to have as like the final episode. So yeah. Thursday, we have a new episode of Pokemon Black. I've already made the Pokemon. They're looking fine. I'm not particularly excited about this batch, but I feel like some of you might be, so you'll have to check that on Thursday. But that is where we're going to leave things today. Happy time zone, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for bearing with me while we crammed a 3rd Pokemon into today. And I will see you all next week. And look at this, I found the button.